today. So stepping in his place, we all know who he is. He is the Obi. He is the one. Obi-Wan Kenobi going to be filling in his place. We're going to send you the big boys. I'll see everybody very shortly at the green screen.
Is the one. You are the chosen one, Obi. How's it going? How's it going, everybody?
My mic's on.
Yeah, my mic is now on as well. Wow, we've been trying to chase this Tesla dream a little bit. Welcome, everybody, to the afternoon show. Well, we're going to be talking a little bit of everything. We just had the Fed budget, their release. I don't see it anywhere here on Benzinga, but I don't think it's doing too much to the market because the market right now are at its day's lows right now. So, look, looking to break. Oh, we just got out of Tesla there. Yeah. Oh, wow. There goes Tesla to the downside, breaking through 326 right there. So a couple tries there, 330, got up to 331 and change. Then we tried it there at 327, 328. That was kind of flattish. And then a bigger trade we just put on right there was waiting for 326, give it $1, and it loses that pretty quickly as everything giving it up right now to the downside. We still got GameStop. We've got Nvidia, which is just here right now. I'm going to have to try to check out what's going on because this market is definitely giving some back. We'll buy some Nvidia down here, but with our stop order ready to go on a break of 80, we're pretty close to that right now. I didn't want this through the day's low, but Nvidia coming right back in right now. So we've got a long against a bad market. This is coming out in 5 seconds. There it is, out. So yeah, the market giving up everything. Wow, giving up everything right now to that downside as, yeah. Okay, we talked about that number today, CPI, and since then, yeah, about that nice downside move there in the S&P and the Nasdaq, just continuing here throughout the afternoon, maybe as we get lower and lower and lower. Names like Palantir. I mean, we just got in and out of that Nvidia trade was really quick. It was more that we lost on the Tesla because we tried 326 and got out 325 break, so that was a bad one. Palantir right into VWAP as well. I mean, do we want to keep catching these falling knives? I don't know, because it seems like right now, sans any real news, the market just keeps on printing lower. We just got a tick down on Palantir, low of 136.36. Generally speaking, I'll look for some kind of a bounce back and see if we want to go. We do know that Palantir has capabilities of doing exactly that. But for right now, it's downside on this market. It's downside. It's like reverse taco trade. Today, we get some sort of deals, and the market says, nah, that's okay. We're not worried about those deals. We're going lower anyways. But there it goes right now. Palantir and the market heading lower, Obi, into, I guess 136 is a decent level here for Palantir. I think we'll try a little bit of a long. We'll buy some 50s right there. We got 52s against this 136 low right there. I mean, here we go. It's coming back in. So we're going to be excited here for Palantir, but it's going lower, as is this whole market. Nvidia now 142.50 and getting into that level. We took some SMCI is cool, man. We have 10% left. That came right up to here. We bought some nice SMCI 43. It got up to VWAP and the 200 period. So this is, our position board not working. You updated Obi's. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, good, Andre. I just want to let you know that's what it was. There we go. So I'll put on, there we go. So these are all the positions that I have. You had to change over the board for Obi. So look what you've done, Obi. All right, 136.25 coming in right now. So here comes Palantir right into that low. How low can we go? Hopefully not that much lower, because I'm putting out.
My God.
I'm putting out some right here.
Sean, I was short Softy. What's going on, everybody? I was short Softy from, I guess, about 10:30. 10:30, 10:45-ish, I was like, all right, this is setting up for a little bit of a reversion, and guess what? Cover almost everything at VWAP, might have added a little bit here on the bounce, but wasn't here for the reload on the false break of 275. So, oh boy, 420 Bud Monster in the chat saying mad love to you as well. And this market not really giving too much love to these longs, and the short was definitely there. We saw signs of I guess the bid kind of slowing down. When I'm talking about the bid kind of slowing down, I meant Softy, as I was using it as a little bit of an indicator because of how aggressively strong it was. Let me just pull up my chart here. We can take a quick look at what Softy, what I mean when I say that on Softy. So let me just pull in my chart over here. Wow, Intel, man. Intel's kind of already sold off down in the dumps.
Can't believe Neil's long Intel before.
That's pushing even lower now. Yeah. But you know what? We'll take a look at Softy right after we get back.
That chart looks real nice, actually.
Absolutely beautiful chart.
Yeah.
Look at that.
All right, let's go.
I just want to let you guys know on moves like this, I like to let you guys know when there's news and also when there's no news. In this case, there is no news that I'm seeing. I just really want to make that clear. This drop, if there is any news yet, I have not seen it. I do want to add one caveat. We did get that federal budget balance coming through at 2 p.m., but this was pretty much in line with estimates. Negative 316 billion versus negative 314 billion expected. So only $2 billion off again. Negative 316 billion was the federal budget balance coming in at 2 p.m. We were expecting negative 314 billion. Previous positive 258. That was the number here, federal budget balance. Not something that usually moves the market, but today I guess a bit of an exception. If that is in fact what's moving the market, but as always, if we see the other news, we'll let you guys know right away. Back to you.
Yeah, the news is that there is no news and everything is
the
okay
budget,
in Bossing Say.
It's the budget. It's the budget.
I don't know if you guys got that reference there, but did you get that one? Avatar, you ever watch Avatar? You said you've been watching.
Yeah, I watched Avatar.
Like the animated one.
No.
It used to come on Nickelodeon.
No.
Oh, it's so good.
No, is it? Yeah. No. I've watched.
It's from there where it's like.
What was the line? Say it again.
It's like everything is okay in Bossing Say. It's like this spokesperson for this land is like everything's okay, but everything's kind of like falling apart.
Right.
That's kind of what's happening.
It's okay, but not really.
Not really. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, right now everything's okay right now because there goes Palantir right here, man. We're long Palantir. Obi sat down and was like, there's always A+ setups if you wait for them. There's Palantir, man. We talked about that. My first trade of the day on PLTR. Layer in, layer out. There it goes. Nice move upside now for PLTR. Glad to be back with you guys because we shit the bed on Tesla as that fell out right there. Too bad. There's 36s, there's 324.50, 60s. So we got a little bit of slippage right there, but right back into Palantir. SMCI trying to hold, probably Nvidia probably bouncing back a little bit. Nah, not really. Glad we got out of that one real quick. That was a good one. But yeah, so far not the greatest rebound there today. I mean, I don't know. We're still down 0.4 on the Nasdaq right now. We'll get some more out on PLTR. But yeah, good little dip by opportunity there as this market just keeps on going up and down. And it doesn't seem to matter, like you had just mentioned there, but what the news is exactly, because news be damned, this market is going. Every day it's going somewhere. And I was listening to some Rick Ross, every day we hustle. And right now we're trying to hustle some shares long. And, it's SMCI and it's Palantir for me right now. And then GameStop, we've been in this all day. It just hasn't gone. So now I was like through in the, well, first of all, we got 29.25s. That was pretty good. That was almost 70 cents. And then, once I came back, we sat back down, went for our walk, went for our swim, did whatever, we're eating some lunch and whatever. Then we took some 200, took some VWAP, tried to see if it was going to break, took VWAP again. We have, thinking about the math, we have like about 15% left or so of GameStop. So yeah, relatively uneventful day there for GME off earnings. Thought we had a chance to get going, but no on that one. So here we go, man. We're going to try to do it. Well, it's basically there right now. We got $1 back on Palantir. Let's make sure we do take some out. But yeah, just watching this to the upside. Maybe the no news thing is good news. Oh, by the way. All right, man. We had our biggest trade, like I was saying, in history of trades. Unfortunately, we weren't on for the show, not in the history of all trades. God damn.
No, I've definitely heard some stories.
Wish I could put that on right now. But no, this VOYG, man, Voyager Technologies, it's going to be hard to see if I can show you guys what happened there. We were going live. I know Joseph and Shriva did not take it, but there's the open. There's a couple quick outs, and then it went whoop all the way down, and we opened up at, it was 69.75. And then I was like, this doesn't look like the rest of them. We're going to get crushed. And I think there must have been a print down there at 65, not sure. But then all of a sudden, it just went brrr, all the way back up to the upside, 71, 72. It's like, this is $2, $3, $4. And then we got another lucky enough to get 72. And then we held about 10% left of this trade. And then what happened was, once it broke 68, I put out a order to punch out 50 cents lower, missed it, and had to manually punch out at 66.50s or so out of that one. So not a great adventure in Voyage Land, but just for everybody, I lost 10%, no, less than 10%, way less than, 5% of what we made on Circle. So we circled the wagons on that IPO trade, but today, Voyager, it's even lower than this. What am I doing? Zoom in there. 52 was a low. Not a great IPO. And that patented trade there taking IPOs long off open, no good. This name actually started, I got to put on some makeup. This name started on, 26 to $31 or so as the IPO range. Came out at 69, 75. So well oversubscribed, and we'll have to see what's going on with this. I want to see actually if Circle had any reaction once this opened. It wouldn't care about it probably, but let's just see. No major volume spikes or anything on Circle today. But once again, you know, we saw how this one was so much different. You know, on their IPO, it just down here, just boom, just went. Like it opened up and just mooned. And that's why I said, you know, Neil was uncertain, but for me, it was the greatest IPO of all time and the easiest IPO, because all you had to do was take anywhere long in the first couple minutes. And then even if you wanted to play pullbacks, you got the pullback, then it spiked again to highs. And when an IPO does not, and I'm sorry, like when it doesn't break its IPO price and hasn't even looked at that ever since, it's great. So Circle, again, a good one. Voyager, I guess, a bad one. So, all right, let's get ready to rock and roll, man. Sharif's over at the desk. Obi, we're going to talk about what the people want on the rundown.
Let's run it down.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. You saw Obi. He's in for Neil. Neil under the weather. But the boys are locked and loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers up there is to join Joseph and I on the Midday Show and get into that chat and vote for your favorite tickers every day. But it's a subs-only chat, so order to vote and chat with us and with other people. You got to be a subscriber, so make sure you're liking, subscribing, and sharing. Here's a look at all four major averages. Boys, they're all negative. Well, the Dow is actually flat on the moment, but all four major averages turning negative after that positive CPI print that we had this morning at 8:30, pushing the markets up. That has all been reversed right now, so keep an eye on the market in general. But the first taker, as decided by you guys, TSLA. Elon taking 2x to let us know that the robo-taxi launch scheduled for the 22nd. Also, he's going to be looking at doing the first customer pickup apparently on the 28th, guys, for his birthday, June 28th, that is.
Yeah.
Okay, Elon. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, we can all look at this one. I mean, I've been trading it today. I had it written down as the #1 trade idea, but unfortunately, well, first of all, we had it long at 330, then at 328, and that had worked, right? This is what we had written down on the sticky note. We had tried to play the momentum with Tesla over the last couple of days, and it's been a really good one. I mean, yesterday we had pretty much this whole move all the way up, and even the day before. So it's just today, it looks like we're going to give a little bit back. It doesn't seem that bad because you're only down 0.36, but we were up pretty good, man. My high tick today is about 334.50. That was the high of the open market, but we just lost our way just right now on Tesla because it just fell like very much like a rock, like not like Chevrolet like a rock, but right into there. We were averaging into 328. Once we lost 328, we got out. We tried it again. We got out again once we lost. So like into here is just a bunch of longs and then outs, but they're all like 50 cents, 60 cents hit. But they add up, you know, even if you take 100 and something shares, again, it adds up, right? And then there it comes right back in, and I was like, you know what? Let's play off three. Like once this move happened, and as Adara was saying, and as we were all sort of commenting, there wasn't much news on this move in, so I was like, okay, let's just play it off at 326, and I had to give it $1, and that's what he did, and did not work. So yeah, we're gonna actually wind up going red on Tesla today because of this area, and then I really did try to go for it right there on 326, man. Players got to play, right? And today we're in the penalty box myself on Tesla because we had a great trade early. Not enough shares there early, I guess, to coincide with what we just did right here. But, you know, when you take dollar wins and you take dollar hits, it is just about share sizing. And I was confident, not confident, but this was a level that came right in. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to try that. And we tried it, and you know, no good. But right now we are, I mean, look at the market, bleeding lower. Palantir just came all the way back down for us, right? So Palantir coming right back into that 120, 136 level right now. But Tesla getting hit again, man. Losses extended today in the S&P. So, all right, what's up, Obi?
Yeah, no, these moves are extremely quick, and you gotta be ready for those. So, traders, are you ready to fully optimize the computer that you use for trading every day? Yes. Well, Easy Trading Computers and Trader TV have teamed up to bring you an exclusive sale on the world's most powerful AI-ready computers for trading. This limited time desktop and laptop sale includes exclusive performance upgrades, bonus gear, and 0% financing. And it's only for Trader TV viewers. Scan the QR code, enter your email, and unlock access before it's gone. This exclusive sale is ending June 12th at 5 p.m. Eastern, so scan that QR code or click the link in the description box below. Tesla, man, talking about Tesla, that thing was crazy this morning. I definitely took a little bit of a chance at it this morning, and I had a similar idea to you as well. I tried a little bit of the long, a little bit of the long, a little bit of the long, and I was like, all right, well, it's clearly obvious here where after the opening range and after a little bit of the consolidation that we might not kind of make it there. So I flip a little bit of short on that lower high that we make at the 334s, and guess what? After I flip short, I just cover into VWAP. I'm like, all right, thank you, come again. I'm going to go to another stock there. But guess what? That was the trade. It became the trade. I felt out the buying, and I was like, all right, well, this is clearly not doing what I'm looking for on the buy side. And then I was patient for where I like to sell, and I start to sell, but no real continuation execution on my part. The continuation definitely coming in on the markets. Oh boy, look at this tailwind. So, yeah, off of the open, pretty choppy, but very directional now, it would seem, on Tesla. Don't really see anything too crazy there other than the short this morning, man.
Yep.
All right, guys, NVDA, wow, look at that aggressive move down, now down to the tune of 1.25%. It didn't start this way, guys. As we mentioned, the Mag 7 in general was positive to start the morning, but that all really did turn. The headline is here twofold. Jensen Huang out in Europe looking at making more investments on the continent, calling it one of the most densely packed areas with untapped talent. Separately, he did make pronouncements on quantum computing. Previously, he had said it was about a 20-year runway before we saw any practical use for quantum, basically saying now quantum is at a turning point right now. So we'll keep an eye on those quantum names. Also strong, boys.
I got to get some out here. I've been fighting this Palantir, but yeah, go ahead on quantum. I got to deal with this.
Yeah, this market's coming back in 21,800 on the Nasdaq, so a little bit of a 200-point quadunk. We were trading at 2200s.
That's
just
crazy.
Just a few, I guess, 15-minute candles ago. About 3 of them to be exact. There. So don't know what's going on here, but I think there are definitely Fed speakers on board, and a lot of people to watch out for. Anybody making statements, definitely you got to stay on your toes in this market, I would say, and keep those stops in place for sure. Nvidia, a little bit of a downtrend to the downside on the day today, but downtrend off of the open is what I was looking for. I was actually looking for a nice continuation because of the strong buying that we saw yesterday. Yesterday, kind of any sort of strong selling got bought right back up, and we had a relatively strong close going into the end of the day. Coming into the day, a little bit of a push there in the pre-market into 145. So I was like, all right, well, let's look for that little bit of a push through these prior highs. We saw that high made just on Monday at 144.99, and I was very adamant about taking inventory through that 145, but guess what? Right off the open, Nvidia kind of shows you who's in charge. Boom, right off the open. Sellers, VWAP sellers, and now we're puking to the downside as well. So Nvidia, a little bit of a sell-off, but if you take a look at a higher time frame, if you just go up to the 15-minute, you can see that we are kind of just still trending up. Higher highs and higher lows, even though some of the intraday volatility has been pretty crazy. But yeah, the intraday is on a much smaller scale than the higher time frame picture. You might say the smaller scale might be called quantum, but I don't know.
Yeah, Nvidia. Yeah, it was Jensen came through.
Yes, he made some quantum remarks.
Yeah, he made some remarks there. But you could see here, if we're just going to talk about Nvidia, I haven't actually traded any quantum names today, but yeah, Nvidia has been fine until we just lost it. Like, we were long and then got stopped out there, but that was profitable. We were long again. We got stopped out, then went long and hit that bigger play right there. So that's kind of like what's got me going about Tesla, and I'm trying to you know, like if that drop down was just some sort of a robot sell system in there, then we're not getting any news or anything like that. So I think Nvidia is going to find a bottom, and it might have just done that. So when you're looking for things like that, you kind of got to zoom. Whoa, oh shoot, we got look at that bad wick. You mean Nvidia didn't trade down to 106? But yeah, no. So I was going to say, like when this is what's happening, you know, the better thing to do is to Papa John's going upside right now, PZZA, pizza. 142 right there for Nvidia, just held, but you're only up 40 cents from there. So you know what? This whole move is coming to the downside. I have to sort of deal with this Palantir. We've got quite a nice winner on right now, so I'm going to offer some out here at 39s. 39?
Papa John's going to hold.
39? 39? Is it? Okay.
I think so.
PZZA. All right, it is halted.
Yeah, it's halted.
Papa John's halted right there. Neil must be ordering some sort of a pizza right there. Probably grabbed them.
Pizza time.
You know what? Neil probably grabbed pineapple on the pizza, and the guy's like, what the hell is going on?
Someone's like, oh, I can't be short this anymore.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Neil's sick. Yeah, but no. Yeah, we wish Neil to get better on there, but there it is, Papa John's, nice upside move, as Neil finally orders pineapple on his pizza, and it's really sent the market reeling on that news. So shout out to Neil, man. Neil's doing the best with the least. All right, what's up, Sharif? Let's go to the next one there. PLTR pop. So good, we're in Palantir right now.
A stock you may know, Sean, Palantir, up nicely on the day, really bucking the overall trend today, up to 2 2/3. Looks like a bit of a double top there, though, on Palantir. No major headline today. Mizuho did chime in with reiterating their underperform rating on Palantir, but boosting the price target, though, boys, up to 116. Still about a $20 drop from where it's currently trading.
Someone's made a bid. Adair's messaging, but
open?
we have a bid there now. And like I said, man, someone got word that this pizza thing with the pineapple is really, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, what if we're starting a new trend with this? But shares are halted right now on PZZA, and we're going to figure it out. $50.90 all the way up there. There's an offer, low 60, the rumor is low 60 range to take Papa John's private. Maybe it's Shaquille O'Neal doing it. I mean, the guy owns 5 or 6, I think, maybe even more than that, franchise locations, I believe.
Really?
For Papa John's. All righty then. What's up, Alex? Right now on Palantir. Look, man, after all the dust settles, I hope to be flat on Palantir, but we took a swing and a miss. Basically, it is what it is. I got stopped at the low right there. It broke 70s. I got out. The low of the day was 60s. So I bought it back. We're trying to take some more money out of this name right now, and it did go up all the way to 136.50 there, but it still stops at VWAP. Look, Palantir is still up 3%. Really like the stock. The reason why when the market dips down like that, I went over to Nvidia, I went over to Palantir. Those are two names that I know, at least I thought I knew, to be strong. Now, if there's a market rebound, we know this thing can moon. Whether or not it gets back to 138.50 today is going to be dependent on what exactly is going on here in the market. But a lot of people said, like, all these sort of software as services and all that are names to watch out for, right? We've seen Snowflake make some moves. I'm out of Snowflake at 200 on my own account. That's another one of those names. We talked about Big Bear AI as well. Kind of flat today, I thought, anyways, relatively flat. Yeah, up 1%, but whatever, for Big Bear AI. And then I don't know if some steam's coming out of it a little bit. You know, Voyager, again, they're in the sky, but again, another sort of software kind of, you know, looking at different services there. I don't know exactly what Voyager does, but I was reading that there was some linkage there with some Palantir and that kind of talk. But you know, that's getting hit as well. So I don't... You know, I'm going to sit there and watch out for that. Watch out now. It's SMCI time. Look at that. Wait, take a look at that, Obi. Where's the do something button?
Yeah, look at that.
I mean, there it is. Look at these two pickups right there. 43, 43. This is what we're doing, man. We're trying to snipe right now and pick up good names at good levels and then cash them out when they get higher. It's the cashing out when they get higher part that I have a problem doing. So hopefully SMCI, I'm going to get some more out of SMCI right now, actually. We don't have to, look this particular gift horse in the mouth anymore. But there it goes, man. SMCI hopefully mooning again. And Palantir is the name I'm in, and it's a decent sized position right now, hoping that we can at least get to view up, then back to the 200 period MA.
Yeah, that Palantir breakout, man, is something that I missed off of the open. You can see it's been kind of winding up. We've had that aggressive strength from all the way down into the lows. 117's bid from last week Thursday has been kind of a grinding bid here. Every day strength. A little bit of a consolidation coming in yesterday, but nice little breakout continuation coming in off of the open. It's settled down pretty well as of right now on top of VWAP. It seems as if VWAP participants very, very strong on the day as of right now. So wasn't really watching it, but nice strength off of the open and nice multi-day run on this one as well. Holding a bid on VWAP currently is that Palantir. This pizza's about to on halt, man.
Yeah. Well, Neil's about to pick it up, so I think it only takes 20 minutes to get into the oven. Yep. But people are asking about Bears versus Bulls. Look, he's fine. He's dealing with some things, and he's asked for some time. So I just telling that to people because people are asking about Bears versus Bulls. We don't talk about personal situations, but he's getting some time off. So, he's good. Hasn't told us anything otherwise. So, he's getting some time off right now. And look, the guy's been working solid for us, I think, for 4 years or something, like almost every single day.
Yep.
So, he's fine. And you guys all know he's welcome back whenever. So it's nothing to do with anything like that. So, anyways, that's that. And it's just time off. So, all right, let's go back. And that's why we're just not really... I thought people had addressed it, but people in the chat weren't sure. So. Okay, let's go back over to the chat. Oh, here, did pizza open though before we go back? I just want to make sure.
It should have opened. Well, it should open. Well, it should.
Well, the news is now out.
It's a 5-minute halt. It should open right now.
Okay, so we'll.
But it hasn't opened. So.
But we already know what it's going to be. It's a low 60s offer apparently to take this thing private. Papa John's International shares halted on circuit breaker to the upside. Stock now being looked at as a possible levered buyout in the low 60s is the news that I'm having. Reading right now for PZZZZA. All right, Sharif with GitLab.
Look, Sharon, it was a decent report. It was a double beat, top and bottom line there, but it was the full year 2025 guide, guys, that the market did not receive too kindly. And there you go. That was the aftermarket move aggressively to the downside today. SSR to the tune of 9 2/3, boys.
Oh boy, this one was actually on my
I get nervous when you say "oh boy"
list. I said "oh boy" because I was like, it was one that was definitely a strong candidate for what I was looking for. But guess what? It didn't do what I was looking for off of the open. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna take that one off my list. But again, kind of looking back at it, does it fulfill some of the other playbook trades that I have? Yeah, I think it definitely does. A little bit of a reversion. A kind of reversion happening here of that earnings report. Nice little flush that we did get off of the report there last night, and even though it came in with a bit of a double beat, we get a nice reversion of that action coming in right off of the open with that volume coming in as well. So we've only gotten about, I would say, just shy of a 50% reversion of that action, but consolidating on top of VWAP as of right now. I guess the opening drive long was definitely there if you were looking for some of those pre-market levels to interact with on GitLab, but it didn't really do what I was looking for. It seems like the market's taking a bit of a bounce here. As well, but nothing too.
Yeah, I needed to bounce a little bit more than that. But yeah, GitLab again down 10% plus, right? I mean, its lowest moment was off the open. I feel like a lot of these names, like CRM, and I mean, I'm not trying to equate them all because all earnings aren't the same. But if you can sort of get a flush early on, and it gives you those pre-market lows. No matter what you think of earnings, because none of us have any idea where stocks are going to go on earnings day, right? I mean, big money could come in and sell, or they could come in and think that it's too far down and buy it. You have Cathie Wood, you have a lot of these different managers that will come in and have different valuations than the street. And, they come in and say, oh my God, GitLab down 10%, it's right into our pocket again, and we want to buy this up. So for me, just looking at it, I mean, that's basically, GameStop for... Like GitLab's on there, but not GameStop. Okay. But I was just thinking that's exactly what we did on GameStop. right here. And it came in, we were looking at pre-market lows, you know, using this 28.25 as our out. So we took a 50 print, well, we got a 60 print, but we wrote down 50s just seeing if it was gonna hold. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the GitLab movement to the upside, but that's the idea. So I think we did it perfectly there. We're not just, you know, preaching here. I'm actually putting on some risk, and that was the move there on earnings. Wait to see, and we'll go back to GitLab again just to show you, wait to see what happens at some of those pre-market levels because they've already been tested. If they want to buy it up, great. If not, you have a dedicated and like an easy out, right? Where you don't even have to think about it. So yeah, man, that's GitLab. It's a nice move up to 45 bucks. And right now, I'd say you look for that break, but not this afternoon. It's 2:30 already. We'll wait on GitLab. Oh, okay, yeah, we'll keep going. All right, we're not ready yet. Okay, so that was that earnings play. We are gonna go over Intel. I did wanna look at IBIT real quick because this is what sort of started, for me, I don't know, just the downside play in the market in general, right? So, Andre, why don't you just come to my screen? That way I can just keep talking until you guys get it figured out, and then Obi can just maybe show for a second. I don't know what the problem is, but they're gonna figure it out. Okay. But I was gonna say, like, there was the break, right? I thought IBIT was going to take that 110 and Bitcoin, and it did. It just didn't run off of 110. That was my hope, that if this happened, then it was going to be all good. What I've been studying, though, is the break. Okay, thanks. The break and then the retake up again. So that's what I was thinking here, which is why we averaged all the way in, back into VWAP, and then I was hoping for this, but we couldn't get going, and then eventually, whoops, we dropped it out, and you know, that was a great decision because although it does battle back a little bit, its best days was when we punched long, and since then, everybody, I feel like, with the same idea, and this is what happens when you panic, and people get caught up top, and then this. So right now, though, Bitcoin at a good level, man. I don't know Bitcoin. We'll have to check what that price is. But IBIT, 6150, good little level there. We haven't been this low since yesterday. I say that kind of jokingly. The swings in this market are like, you know, they look so dramatic on the chart, and then you look back and it's like, wait a minute, that's where it was yesterday at noon.
His legs are.
I told you about ZZ Top.
If I could whistle.
I told you ZZ Top. Remember? She's got legs.
Sorry.
Oh, I was saying that for you last time.
I was
Yeah,
saying, yeah, if you've seen these legs, I wish I could whistle, man. The extensions
Whistle
both ways,
work.
absolutely beautiful. Have been some of these market legs, but let's see what is going down with Intel.
Still don't have an explanation, guys, as to why Intel made this move yesterday, but as you can see there, we are retracing the entire move that we made in the afternoon yesterday. So Intel, guys, down almost 7% here. Tough day for Intel.
Where does it come in? Yeah. Not on the intraday.
I hate Intel.
I mean,
yeah. So, oh, are we live? Oh, no. The reason why I honestly hate Intel is it's
Papa John's open.
Pizza John's. Pizza. There we go. Oh my God, no, Neil's sending the pizza back. Oh, no, he's fine. He's loving the pizza right now. Up to 55.25 right now goes Papa John's. And again, you know, that news is looking to get bought out. Most likely all cash if it's going to be a consortium right there, falling higher. Oh, there it is. I got the name. Apollo and Earth Capital looking to take the company private. And, you know, do you think that this was being discussed over the last couple months or what? Papa John's right now just breaking out. I don't know, we were getting some, there was a Papa John's opened up near our house about a year and a bit ago. You get the free, they give you the free dipping sauce. So the kids were liking that because generally we don't you know, dip it in anything. I like just a ranch dressing. Like if I open up the fridge and there's like a sort of a garlic ranch or something like that, like a salad dressing, I don't mind. Not Caesar, but anyways, that's what Papa John's, good favorite of ours.
I like my creamy garlic.
Creamy garlic, that's what it is. It's a creamy garlic,
garlic is
sauce
classic.
there. But yeah, so shout out to Papa John's. Prefer them over Domino's, but recently Pizza Hut. I don't know, I think that's Canadian. That's been a good one. I'm trying to.
That is good.
Elbows up. All right, Intel. The reason why I say Intel is downside for me is what a waste. I remember going back and forth with Neil, and he was talking about that this was maybe a good value or something at $50. But there it goes, downside right here. And the reason why I was saying that is we were talking about day trading it. And I think that that's been right. What Neil was saying too was that there's a lot of opportunities, you know, to get in and get out and get in and get out. But the opportunity to hold this thing has been horrible. And I think you do need to trade it. I even said yesterday, if we got any love back into $25, $26 into this area, I'm out of Intel. And yesterday on a Fugazi, it goes up to 22, brings it right back into 2050 right now. And yeah, nothing going today. I know Neil had a long above, and I don't know if he was up or down on it, but it didn't really do much. So we'll wait on Intel now. I just, again, I don't like it because I had bought it. I don't even remember where. I really hope it wasn't back in September. But what a waste of time. That's all. Like if you look at Nvidia or some of those other stocks, and sure, Nvidia's not moving around that much, but other chip names, Broadcom, even an AMD and things like that. Intel, I don't know. It's just can't get going. I'm not in love with this stock. I used to trade it a lot. You and I have probably made the most money and lost the most money, I think. I don't want to speak for you on Intel, but
yeah, for sure.
I sometimes I know we'll use more shares. So it's just like, if you're wrong on it, it's like you wait, and it just bleeds out on your account. And it's just like, bleh. Not a big fan of Intel. And I've stayed away from it for a while. And I don't think we've made much money on Intel for a long time. But we'll wait for more news, down 7% today on INTC. But you had that great chart on Intel, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, I think I've taken like my, I guess a lot of trades on the intraday on Intel for sure on my book. But yeah, Intel crazy bid yesterday. I was watching this, and again, I was like, classic. All right, it's running. What's the news? Maybe one of the last questions I'm asking, because I'm already looking at the run. I'm just looking for this price action to look distinctly different and turn. But I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait. And while I'm waiting for that to happen, I'm looking for the news. There is no news as well. So I'm like, all right, well, clearly someone wants Intel yesterday. It's definitely very unusual, and it's pushing up. I think it pushed up way past its ATR there. So let's see, in about 4 hours from the day low, which also happened to be, I guess, the opening range low as well, depending on how far out you measure the open. But yeah, that was about a 10.65% move from the low of day to the high of day on Intel. And guess what? I was like, oh boy, all right, well, I've been patient all day. I get short yesterday pretty aggressively as it breaks that trend. And I'm like, okay, it's coming in, it's coming in, it's coming in. Coming in, guess what? Buddy was sitting here on 22s. I'm like, okay, somebody's sitting here with a huge iceberg order. 22s was definitely iced, and I'm like, all right, well, if that buyer is not going to drop today, that like this reversion is not going to take place. It's probably not going to happen. So I'm like, all right, I cover, get chopped up, pay a little bit for being involved there. That's perfectly fine. Guess where the trade comes in? Oh boy, buddy there on 22s. I guess he wasn't there today because right off of the open, all that wound up action from yesterday kind of unwound beautifully, giving us almost 100% reversion right off of the open here on Intel. So beautiful price action. And I was talking to Wayne about this as well as Brankles, and I'm like, sometimes the trade is the trade. Sometimes the trade is definitely there, and you have high conviction. You have your stats behind it. You're like, okay, you have very high conviction that this trade might take place. So you have your stop in as well, but it's not always going to be the case that the trade is going to follow through on the time frame that you are looking at. I was looking at this reversion to happen on the intraday time frame. Guess what? It took overnight. It took one more day for that to happen. And sure, that can happen. It's not unnatural. It's not unusual for that to happen. But again, it's another point of going back to, as day traders, you have to focus. Your main focus is going to be your risk management. Can you manage your risk well enough for the trade to come in? And if you can't, that's perfectly fine. I stopped out here because it was just going sideways. I need to get out, but that sell does come in. So shout out to anybody who saw Intel's move yesterday and was like, where are you running? Why are you running? I'm gonna try to revert this potentially, and it came in pretty beautifully off of the open. Missed trade for me off of the open because I did see it open like this, but I was like, all right, well, it's pretty much done, but it went for much further than I expected as well. We're getting that market tailwind to the upside now, Sean. So let's look to see if there's anything really bouncing here. I'm looking at the mags, nothing too crazy. Alphabet, hello. I was a little involved with that one there yesterday, so let's take a quick look at goggles here. Nice little trend to the downside that might be reverting a little bit as of right now, but you can see this selling kind of started reverting all the way down here. We've already reverted about 0.5% off of those lows there on Google. So I'm going to be patient. I'm going to wait for the next trade. And yeah, I think what you mentioned earlier, the volatility in this market is absolutely crazy. And I was mentioning to Adara as well right before we started. I was like, yeah, there's a lot of B's and C's in this market. But what I'm noticing, if I'm patient, I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, those B pluses and those A's can very well just fall into my lap.
Oh yeah.
If I'm patient for those, and I've maintained my mental capital for those, I can perform much better than if I'm getting, if I'm involved on 100 different things on the day. So that's something that definitely I've noticed in this market. This market is very much hot, and you gotta be nimble. You gotta stay quick on your feet for sure.
Yeah, no, you have to be involved. When things happen, you never know what that next sort of move is going to be, higher or lower. Agreed with all of that. I mean, the Nasdaq, like we said, just bled downside, and now there's a nice recovery happening right there. Good out for us on Palantir. Let's see if we can get a little bit higher. 137.20s. I mean, this is almost it is a dollar. It's 95 cents now in the money off of that. But it's too bad that we got, again, like I'm always getting pushed, stopped out, and then I buy it back, and it's just like I'm getting a little tired of that. Like, there's not a lot of clean moves. I do think that there's a potential for a Tesla to come back. I mean, it's kind of doing the same thing. We tried this. I think we maybe should leave this alone. We didn't have a great read on it the first time as it was coming back in, but let it relax and you get some upside play in it as well. And then SMCI, I mean, this one we ride the bull on SMCI right now and see if we can get, I'm going to punch some more out there. Ooh, I missed 43s right there. We tried to, okay, well, is that me still sitting there on bats? Okay, well, there we go. We get a 43. I'm also waiting at 46 to get a little bit more out here. I'm getting out of 10% every time right now on SMCI, as that might have been one of the tops. We did have a drip down there again. I'm thinking more and more about JP Morgan and this 270 area. It's been up here for a minute and it just keeps on threatening to break. Like, I want to put this on. We talked about what's trading tomorrow. I'm thinking JP Morgan tomorrow. If we break through this 270, I mean, I don't know if it happens today, but if that happens, I really think that's a great trade. 270 break on JP Morgan. Might not be as fast and furious as some of these tech names want to move, but as you can see, but I think that's a good one, man. We almost took it out today, 269.50 before dropping on whatever that news was, as we said. All right, I'm going to get some more out now on Palantir because it seems like it. Okay, well, maybe not. I'll get a 55 there as it just broke back down below VWAP again. I have way too many outs. I understand that, but these are all at VWAP and the 50-period moving average. This is like a Katina death cross right there because the VWAP and the 50 are, combining to each other. You never want to cross the streams. So that's maybe what's happening that's maybe what's happening here. I'm going to get another piece out at 54. Just missed the 54 there. But yeah, so we're gonna watch for that. Starting to move down. Just as an update, man, I have 20% left of this position. So, made money here, made money again, lost money once we dropped out there, but got it back. So we're going to watch out for Palantir going back and forth again. And yeah, Rigetti, different names in the quantum space worth looking at. So it looks like right there, Papa John's is coming back in a little bit off of that open high of $55. So watch out for some PZZA.
Yeah, that one's, again, I was looking for that push to continue. And yeah, if I was talking to a buddy here and I'm just like, yeah, I don't have my moose key set up here. But that was I guess that was a good chance there. It gave you those I think 53s right off of if you took the moo, and it was instantly trading at like 55s when I saw it. But then I was like looking for that push for that continuation to come in, but 55s kept stalling. I'm like, if the rumors are low 60s, do we see a continued bid to the upside? Didn't really see that. I was slightly tempted to take the reversion, but I haven't taken anything just yet on that one. If they are going to have continued rumors come out and it's already halted up once, I kind of want to stay away from it until it kind of settles down. But if you're willing to take put on some risk for that, I think it's definitely well worth it there for a potential push. But yeah, market coming back in. I tried a little bit of a cheeky short on that, goggles there as it kind of makes a beeline up towards VWAP along with the rest of this market here, which is reverting a decent chunk of that that 3-bar flush that I was talking about that started in and around, I guess, 130 here on the market. But yeah, maybe poised for a little bit of a VWAP push. I kept it light and tight there on goggles, just to give it a little bit of a feel there. But VWAP is sitting at 178.52s. I was looking for that 178 hold, didn't really come in there. But you can see lower highs and lower lows pretty much all day. And even if we tick all the way back up to VWAP, which is over half a point away, 50 pennies away, it's still within range of that downtrend. We would still technically be making lower highs and lower lows unless and until some of these prior significant highs really get broken, and then price steps on top of it, holding that prior resistance as some support there as well. So yeah, however you want to define trend. Yeah, I think some definitions of trend have been broken here, but some have not. So you really have to be a little nuanced with what definition of trend you might be using for that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. What matters is whether or not you have effective kind of executions on the plans there. And it's funny, Wayne and I, we've been kind of going back and forth, I guess, over the past week, being like, you know, taking the trade for what it is, and then also arguing that, like, no, execution is what matters, right? It's like yes, you can have great ideas, but at the end of the day, it's like the execution that will make the difference, right? It's like I can be like, I want to get long on Google today or something like that, but if I don't effectively execute it with the given daily risk that I have with everything else, it doesn't really matter what the idea is, right? But yeah, execution.
That's it, man. I've been trying to, yeah, man, I'm glad to have you here, man. I've been trying to preach that for a minute, so that's a good one. And that's what I'm saying. I always say, judge us on the trades. Like, we could sit here and talk all we want about these names until you actually have some, you know, skin in the game and things like that. It's a completely different experience when you're actually trading as opposed to just sitting around and floating them. I mean, you can see the difference. Sometimes you'll see traders in simulation and this and that. I mean, you've been in simulation on the show before, the Midday guys as well. It doesn't feel the same. And I know you try to get it to feel the same because we talk about putting in those reps and everything like that, but really, it's most of trading is really a mental game, and it is tough sometimes to hold on. Like, you know, if for me anyways, I could never go back, but I do appreciate those that do, because there is a lot to that as far as, you know, learning the ropes and getting comfortable taking the reps, you know. But it's like, my kid could be great in the batting cage, but she gets up there against a real pitcher and strikes out. It's kind of like, okay, we need to get some more experience in real life sims, right? So, but okay, there we go, man. SMR, I thought I was real smart. Like when we sold this one at we got the very top of the day, actually, 41.70, and yeah. Thought that was pretty good. When I came back in the afternoon, I was like, what's at 39? Okay, maybe we made a good decision, but it's probably going to close higher. As there we go, SMR, Oklo, all of these names just continue to blast through. And a big congratulations to everybody that's been hitting these nuclear names, because they are going nuclear. We had yesterday, I talked to Brian Shannon about this as well, and I even brought up URA. And if you're going to look at URA here, it looks great on a daily chart, but the daily chart maybe doesn't give it enough sort of credit, because if we blow that up right there, you could see it's just breaking out right there, $34, right? But on a weekly chart here for uranium, you know, we've already had this huge low. We had a beautiful break right there of $16. We already made it back. This is why I'm doing the weekly, because we've already showed you this. That was sort of the top. We started making some new tops. So there's one top, there's another top, there it is again, there it is again, and here we go. So we're making new highs here as we continue to go on URA, the ETF. And I mean, a lot of that is, you know, helped out by, I mean, this is what we talk about with NewScale and actually taking shots on newer companies, which is why Circle and CoreWeave and all that kind of stuff, you never know where these names are going to go. SMR comes out, man. NewScale opens up at $10, right? Probably just a SPAC right there. Comes to market, goes all the way to 16, then down, Obi, to $2 SMR. Dude, you put in $3,000 down there at $2, right? Or let's just say $2,000. You have 1,000 shares on $2, 1,000 shares, right? Yep. Now $40,000 right there, just boom. And that's from beginning, like that's a salary. Like you just made $40,000. I mean, I know it's not, maybe not a salary these days, but you just made $40,000. And of course you're going to trim. You're not going to hold all the way, but that's only putting in $2,000. You know, you put in 10 grand down here.
Oh boy.
And we have one of those oh boy situations where Neil can buy that extra large pineapple pizza instead of the small. So good move there for Papa John's and for SMR. But yeah, uranium keeps on going higher. All right, let's go hear what Obi has to talk about.
Yep. So level up your trading game with Prop XP. Up to 1 to 200 leverage and static drawdown. Scroll the site and pick your challenge at propxp.com. Trade directly on our platform, sign up and try it for free. Start your trading journey. Enjoy rapid payouts and real human support, no bots. Rated 4.6 stars on Trustpilot, trusted by traders worldwide. Right now, get 50% off with code TraderTV, links in the description. Be the trader, get funded. Join Prop XP today. Your edge starts here. Visit propxp.com. Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, a little bit of a pullback on these here markets. But yeah, no, going back to the pizza there. I was looking for Papa John's to halt up a little bit higher, or maybe push on a little bit higher. But I think you're right. I think he might have just ordered like a small or a medium, probably not a large. So I didn't really do the large move that I was looking for there on Papa John's. So we got a personal, maybe a personal size one there. But yeah, goggles here, taking a look at that 178 as maybe a potential bit of resistance. I have no idea though. I'm just gonna let it kind of consolidate here and let things kind of work. But I'm looking for the next trade. Where is the next trade? And like I said, I kind of put that on as a little bit of a feeler, but in reality, I'm waiting to really kind of, if something was to fall into my lap, I am definitely gonna hammer it down or up to the upside. You see that a little bit of a bias coming out. I got to catch myself there. Not everything is meant to be hammered down. Some things are meant to be hammered up. But yeah, no, we'll see if there's a bit of a reversion here on the market. Is this reversion going to follow through? We did bounce off of that 21,800 and maybe a little bit off of that 6,000 here on the ES itself. Oh boy, I want a little bit more of that one. And let's see if that 178 can pull us back in there and show us who is in charge. Sellers have been in charge all day, Sean. Not only off of, I think the clearest sign, if you were like to keep it as simple as possible, I'm like, what's the news? Why are we going up? Why are we going down? If you keep it as simple as there are more buyers than sellers, or there are more sellers than buyers, very simple concept. You saw the CPI.
That's how it works.
Exactly, right?
Oh, man.
You saw the CPI come out. We had a really good reaction to the CPI. But guess what? We gave it all back.
Yep.
We reverted it. So that aggressive buying, kind of sellers stepping in and kind of showing us who's in charge, not only reverting that CPI price, but if you take a look at some of these constituents like Alphabet, like Amazon, like Tesla, like Nvidia, like Apple, oh boy, and maybe a little bit like Softy, you can very clearly see that sellers may or may not have been in charge for majority of the day, if not all of the day, reverting that CPI move there as well. So again, we kind of, I think I want to look to Apple to give a little bit of a direction here, because again, it is one of the top constituents. And look at this, Sean. You get that economic number. We get that pop into the pre-market off of the open. 204.50 is the high. Guess what the high was yesterday? Very aggressive push yesterday as well. 204.35 was yesterday's high on Apple. And you can see the day before right here, 205 is that aggressive selling coming into the market. Now I forget what specifically this catalyst was, but I was just like, oh boy, I think I was in a Google short and I covered way too early. And this happened and I was like, well, damn, I just had to hold the short.
Yeah, I know.
Had to hold the short. I was already short the name for other reasons. Sure, you don't know if the catalyst is going to come in, but guess what? Price action is king. And if it's showing you sellers are in charge and volume comes in and stuff starts to panic, guess who's going to continue to stay in charge? I don't know, but it showed us right there that sellers are continuing to be in charge somewhere around here in the 204s, and we saw more of that happening there on Apple. That's kind of just what I wanted to point out. Just kind of reading out what the chart has been telling me. I don't know what is going to happen, but this is what has been happening over the past couple of days here on Apple. Again, one of the top constituents in the market, so maybe some of those levels are good to give us some indications as well. But yeah, other than that, today's watch list for me, Sean, was not that crazy. I was kind of looking at a few different names here. I was looking at, well, we can take a look at what I was looking at here. So would you look at that? Amazon. Looking at Amazon, did not do what I was looking for. I was looking for that push continuation breakout. It's kind of trending on a higher time frame. Didn't really work out there. You can see that it's been selling off as well. Tesla, continuation. You saw what I did on it as well. I think the long was very valid until it wasn't. And guess what? I did flip short, but didn't really follow through with that short. Comcast, CMCSA here. Let's see what this one is up to here. Pretty much sideways. So I was like, okay, yesterday was very, very strong. Not really doing that much relative volume. But again, if I call this one a ghost bid, where it's just kind of, it just trends up because there's clearly somebody, or there's more buyers than sellers very clearly all day. And I'm looking for that to continue to happen coming in on the day today. Did not happen, so kind of left that one alone there on Comcast. Qualcomm, this one, I don't know about you, but I've been watching this one. Qualcomm has been super, super strong. Back-to-back jacks with the strength on this one here. But again, you get that strength. You did get that continuation, but take a look at this beautiful reversion, which takes us all the way back down through the day lows. And I know somebody who will definitely like this one, Lilly, with the continuation there. Again, very strong yesterday, and it came with relative volume, which makes it's at 820s. So off of the open, I was looking at Eli Lilly for that continuation, and guess what? It came in real nice. VWAP buyers held on. And look at that, still kind of holding its own relative to the rest of the market as, yeah, it's kind of still chopping in its opening range, but still holding its day low, showing us that strength that it has been over the past multiples of days right there on Eli Lilly. So those were kind of the main watches for today. I did have Circle, so we can kind of get back to that one. I know there's been a lot of puns about circling back, so I'll try not to do that one there.
Too late.
But we'll try to keep continuity as best as possible here. But 120 level hold on Circle as of right now. So that 120 came in prior day, coming in today as well. So that's the look on my watch list, what I had. Sure, I had some earnings names as well, but we can go through those a little bit later. But that, in terms of momentum and maybe some technicals and some catalyst-driven stuff, that's what I was looking for. Oh boy, there comes the market again with a little bit of a flush. Let's see what Adair has to say.
Just be aware here, there's some stuff coming through about the U.S. and Iran. This was not the case at 2 p.m. I still don't know what led to that drop, but it's just worth noting here. Just be aware, lots of geopolitical talk. Apparently the White House, or an official at the White House, saying that Donald Trump, president of the U.S., is aware that there's, I guess, been a move of U.S. personnel within the Middle East. Then we have Iran, I guess, in their mission here, saying to the UN that apparently, or I guess Iran's mission to the UN, saying that diplomacy, not militarism, is the only path forward. They are objecting, I guess, to potentially a military presence from the U.S. in Iran. And talk about nuclear as well. Just be aware here, some kind of back and forth here with regards to Iran and the U.S. Back to you.
Oh, man. Someone's going to get ban-hammered. What's up right here? Maury. Well, anyways, you're starting to get ban-hammered anyways by the algo. So I may have to do nothing here. We can stop asking. Okay, that's enough times right now. Bye-bye. Right there. We can talk about different coins and all that, but if you're just going to spam the chat, then what will happen to you just happen to you. Right there. Arsis FX right here, man. Everybody is loving it. Obi on fire. Good work, team. Oh, I was waiting for the get it Obi in the background, but we didn't get that. There it is. There we go. What's up, Obi? Yeah, I know they're all bots, and I'm gonna block this one as well. If I just keep on putting them into user timeouts, maybe eventually. I don't know. You're not really on X, but the bots on there are like.
Oh no, I'm on X.
Oh, but do you post? You probably don't have.
Not really. I'm a little bit more incognito. I'd say.
Right, exactly.
I have very specific people that I follow because it's directly related to my trading. Because I'll follow some of the fastest news channels.
Right.
So it's like if something is happening, usually, Adair is probably much faster than I am to it because I'll probably hear her say it out loud first. But all I got to do is kind of look over, wait a few seconds, and then it'll kind of populate on the feed there for me. So yeah, I am a very avid user of X. I just am not active on X with many posts. I'll post every now and then. I actually replied to a trader recently, which was interesting. That was one of my posts. It's funny. I remember having Twitter in high school.
Oh, yeah.
And I went all the way back into my account, and I was like, oh boy, what was I posting in high school on Twitter? It was just random garbage about like, oh, you know, this is what I'm doing, maybe thoughts and feelings. It was a different time, and I was like, wow, I have definitely a very, very different person. But X is used solely for business for me, yeah, I think it works right that way. It's a very curated list of accounts that I will follow, and I don't go into the recommended because there's a lot of garbage in there. Again, talk about tinfoil hat. Forget about the tinfoil hat. Throw that tinfoil hat out the window. I wear a tinfoil suit. And I don't want my biases being affected by anybody who, you know, all these analysts, which is great, you know, do your job. Analysts are great, but my job is not necessarily to be an analyst, and I would like to keep my biases as clean and my own as possible, let's say that. But yeah, that's...
So fresh and so clean.
Yeah, that's my purpose
right
on X.
You like Outcast?
Sorry? Outcast? Yeah,
so fresh and so clean there. Good one there, Rosa Parks and so on and so forth. All right, so the market is coming back in here a little bit, and I want to thank Obi because he was taking over a little bit for me there because we just cleaned out of our Palantir up here north of VWAP as, you know, some of those Iran stories were starting to come through right now. So we do know that President Trump has talked about, you know, he wants to send in these arbiters basically into Iran and make sure that there is no nuclear this and that, but there is going to be nuclear stuff there. So that story there, Iran mission, we just talked about overwhelming force doesn't change the facts. Iran is not seeking a nuclear weapon, and U.S. militarism only fuels the instability. So it's just like, basically, the way I read that is like, you know, I mean, maybe it's good for uranium. I don't, you know, and proper uranium, right? Like, let's just check out, no, it's Oklo, not IonQ. Right there, Oklo had a huge move today. Wow, $66. This name, like 26 there, Oklo, huge move to the upside. And Oklo's story today was, OKLO, we'll look this up again because they had a huge move today. What's powering this move there for Oklo? Notice of intent awarded by the Defense Logistics Agency on Energy, right? So they grabbed that contract there. And then we've already talked about, there's Donald Trump's name right there. It's always highlighted as he signed that nuclear bill for energy the other day. So that's going to definitely be helping out. Oh, I just closed my news feed. I got to reopen that.
See what all the nuclear tickers did?
That's what I was looking at. And I got out of some SMR. Where's my news feed on here? I got out of some SMR today as well on my own account, and then it's still ripping up higher and higher and higher. But yeah, man, just to talk about that. So there goes Oklo up 26%. But anyways, what I was going to say, all right, now there's more stuff about Iran. But it's just that, you know, I'm guessing the thing is that the more, it's kind of like what's been happening in California, and we're not going to, you know, say what's right or what's wrong in all of this, but when you're sending in force, you're basically saying we're doing this, you know, in case of something else happening. And, you know, Iran maybe just wants to be left alone and do whatever they're going to do. But of course, they're going to say they're not building nuclear weapons and things like that, right? I mean, you got to have checks and balances. So we'll figure out how that all plays. But again, I think that's the jitters in the market right now to that downside. Volume's been picking up a little bit here over the last hour as these stories have sort of dripped through. So, and then you get big moves, man. SMR 17% today. NNE, Nano Nuclear. You know, we had Mitch on. We've had a lot of different people on. And like I said, I show you a text right here. $8, $9 SMR is where I was talking about this last year. And now you're up to 40, right? We already did that example of $2. So I think that there's a lot of leg in these, but they're not making money yet. So this is all for future growth. It kind of reminds me of the quantum plays, right? With Rigetti and things like that. I mean, Rigetti today is having a beautiful day as well, up 10%. QBTS having a day as well. So as we look for different, well, actually QBTS is down. Okay, I have to look into that. But yeah, there was a story after story, China after Iran. Yeah, I mean, it's It's back and forth. Shout out there to Rami Saad in the chat. This is why we've got Adair and why it's so important to, have some good news stories come through and be read properly and all that. So, make sure you stay tuned in with us here as we'll do the trading. Adair will do the news like right now.
So here is HPE. Just keep an eye on this. I'm just seeing this come across on X, or at least be circulated here on X. It looks like the USPS has awarded a 5-year contract here to HPE. This contract is valued apparently $200 million contract for servers, storage, and IT services. This is going to be over, 5 years. So keep an eye here on HPE, guys. Back to you.
Free. 100 points at Starbucks.
Oh, nice. What'd you get?
That's a lot of, just iced coffee.
Okay. Oh, I saw this thing on, I think it was on Instagram, whatever, some social media. This guy, this father is teaching his son a lesson. He's like, your mother ordered an ice cap. So so he gets three cups, right? 2 cups full of ice. He says one large iced coffee, no ice.
Right.
Basically what he does, he takes those 2 cups full of ice and he has that one, he's like, I paid for one. He paid like $5-6 for it. He empties out that one no ice cup into both of those iced cups. They're both full to the top.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, I'm happy, your mother's happy, everyone's happy, we're good to go. So it's like that no ice, the no ice hack is absolutely pretty
yeah, man. Yeah, no, that's a great one.
Ramin's looking like she's about to go do that hack today.
Yeah, man.
Wow, she said she's been doing that since grade 8. Wow. Look at that. You guys have to share the playbook, man. Come on.
You know what? Well, yeah, once you get kids.
Speaking of sharing the playbook, I think, no, I'm joking. Google's coming back down to
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. I mean, the short is looking good right now. I mean, we just keep on getting out and out a little bit. Yeah, no, my parents will do the same thing. Like, they won't drink a large coffee or anything like that, but they'll order, that extra large coffee and then get like medium cups and then just pour it in there, and it's like almost basically half price, when that gets going. So, but the restaurants obviously know that it's not. You make so much money on those ice caps, and what is iced coffee? Like Starbucks for this drink, what do they want? $5 or $6 for it? Like
margins are ridiculous. Yeah,
it's a bean.
We got to start a coffee shop.
Bean plus water. Yeah, no shit. I mean, that's why we started.
TV coffee shop. So open up on Bay Street.
Yeah. We don't do enough stuff around here, but yeah, that would be something for sure to do. Look, we always talk about side hustles and things like that. I am down. Like, I'm down for that. Anybody have any business ideas, man? Hit me up at TraderTV Sean. I am down for all of that because,
Got our angel investor right here.
It's just, but it's like the minute you stop doing things, it's like I don't complain. We complain amongst our own parents, and it's funny at baseball or at hockey. It's like, oh my God, we got to wake up again at this time and that time and this time. But or like all the effort I'm putting into coaching and, everything like that you do, especially with your kids, they're just, time is undefeated. They're only getting older. Like, I can only coach, until a certain age, and the kids will only like playing sports until certain ages. And then all of a sudden, relationships, this and that, schooling, moving away, blah, 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 starts to happen. And it's like, where did the time go? So I think you got to really appreciate the time for now and do things in the now. And so that's something that...
Got a super chat here.
Ooh la la.
For Adara.
What to Guan?
Saying that Adara looks, so Savage, thank you Savage for the super chat here. Saying Adara LePage looks like a Canadian Taylor Swift. Thanks for all the timely news. You're the best. 21, 21, 21.
I was going to say it's 21 Savage.
Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the 21 reference. I am not a Taylor Swift fan, but...
Mike?
It's on. It's fully on.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, guys.
Thank you for the kind words there, Savage. And, as 21 says... making less L's, it's taking less L's, making more M's. Okay. I will leave y'all.
Thank you very much for that. And okay, so another super chat, back to back, right here from Austin. Can we take a look at HOFT and RH earnings due tariff issues from this quarter? Okay, I'll take a look at HOFT. Let's take a look at that one. I have no idea. Hooker Furnishings Corporation, interesting. This one probably does no volume. Yeah, it does nothing, 80K, so I don't want to throw anything into that one there. But RH, let's see, RH for sure does a little bit of volume. So let's take a look at that one. go to a higher time frame and see what it's been up to since last earnings. Wow, last earnings, a little bit of a quadunk there. And it seems that after finding a base, we've been basically trading within that range there, pretty much sideways. So yeah, maybe if you're looking for something off of this earnings, maybe some references to go off of. But it seems like bigger picture, it's been kind of pulling back off of that 500. Bit of a double top here at that 460s, 465s 10. 465.10 is the high on that RH, the more recent high on that one there. So thank you for that. I don't know if you have a look on any of those.
No, I think we did. Did we talk about Chuli here in his super chat? The $10.
Oh no, I don't think
on Tesla.
Okay, yeah, no.
Okay, yeah. So okay, what's moving there? Oh, we got a nice spike up there on First of all, Palantir go boom right here. Nice movement. I was just covering something. I didn't cover, but I put an offer there at 40s and then another one at 50, and we just bumped into 75 right there, right here, right now. All right, so oh shoot, where did that go? I minimized the super chat. Okay, here it is. So Chuli right here says he has Tesla contracts he bought earlier today expiring. Oh, next Friday. Okay.
Okay.
I thought it was this Friday.
Yeah.
Price target 360. What's the recommendation here? Buy, hold, or let it go? People are saying hold. Oops, let it go, let it go. Why are they skipping your super chat? No, fail on us, but Chuli, I got it. Never skipping anything on purpose. You know, right there. But okay, so Chuli wants to know about those Tesla ideas and those contracts. So look, I still think Tesla's fine. I mean, you know, today you're getting a nice downside push. There's no doubt about that. We did get a high of 340, but the thing is, you kind of just ran into maybe another level of resistance, right? We came into this level of support. We just go basically bottom, back up to top, and now look to extend into 360. So the fact that you have next Friday, I think that's going to be fine. I mean, you know, the China deal, I thought it would have get going a little bit more. I don't like the fact that we're down here today. But next Friday, so remember the announcements there, I was just looking at the calendar, because the 22nd, which is Sunday, is the scheduled day for the robo-taxi. They mentioned that he's looking to do something there on the 22nd, but it might get extended to the 28th. Which we had mentioned was his birthday or something. I think that's a fugazi. Like if he's going to put it out earlier, he's going to put it out earlier. They're just doing more testing, okay? So I would say that I would wait out for, you know, that might not be enough time because next Friday is the 20th. So there's Voyager, by the way. I don't know why I clicked on that. If you get some news earlier, like that date gets pushed up, then I think 360 is a possibility, but remember, that's still 10% from here. Tesla can go up 10% pretty easily. So just one or two headlines away from those being okay. I wonder if you bought it today, this morning, what kind of decay you've already had on that. Because if you're down maybe 20% on the position and it's not huge, I might just cut bait and then wait to see what happens tomorrow. Because even if it's a good day tomorrow, I think we probably just open up back around these levels again, and you can buy that again without any worries. So I would say, depending on the loss there, Joe's back here. Joe, check 360 calls on Tesla. Can you see what the high maybe was today and what the low was? Because we do have a question on that. So again, with time value and decay, you know, you're going to get hit even on one day, right? But today's Wednesday, so you still have, oh, shoot, you also have Juneteenth on Thursday, so you actually minus a day on that as well. So I would watch out for the decay there on those because yeah. No, next Friday. Yeah, Joe's going to grab them for us. I show them. I can actually show it on our screen. I should just find, I used to use, does it say what the high was today? So they're currently valued at $266. So let us know what you paid for that. But so $2.66 for the right to buy Tesla at $360 next Friday. So you need at least a 13% move higher from here, because if the thing is valued at $3, you need 363, right, to break even on that. So yeah, interesting call there, interesting play. Yeah, I like it. You know, I think if you're going to take a shot on something and the market rebounding and China news, I think Tesla's a pretty strong one there. I might prefer Nvidia breaking 150, but that's not a bad look either. Or Palantir 200, whatever you want.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely a bit of a good look there.
By the way, the Blue Jays have won like a lot of games in a row.
Really?
Yeah.
I went
you beat
to
Philly. I know you went to your first
one game,
and you liked it.
They swept like 14-0 or so. It's 14 something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
they
good.
Won.
It was a lot of fun.
They won, right?
Yeah, they won.
Yeah. I'm not sure what you mean by they swept, but yeah, that is right. They shut them out.
Pretty much. Yeah.
14-0.
Yeah.
Clean sweep.
Clean sweep.
The Blue Jays are
what it's
hot
called?
fire this year. Yeah, I got a message from some guy here from the Blue Jays because I had sent in like season tickets requests, but I can't right now. It's way too busy. You know, Neil has season tickets, but like, how are you going to do? It's 82 home games. There's 81 home games. Is it 162 or 164? So that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot of pressure there to go to those games. And then plus you got StubHub and Ticketmaster. You can resell them, but they're just so expensive, Jays tickets. I don't know about what baseball's like in your neck of the woods, everybody that's watching, but to get good seats, they're like $150, something like that a seat. You guys probably did what, walk around?
Yeah, we just did the general admission.
$20.
Yeah, $20. It was pretty good. It was a lot of fun. And I was even telling Greg this is like there's like so many of us here. If we all got seats, we wouldn't be able to talk to each other.
Exactly.
It's so much better just to get the general admission and like walk around, have fun.
You could also get the one thing about the cheap.
3 and 3. Yeah, but there was like 15 of us, bro.
You think Obi doesn't? You think Obi only runs 6 deep?
What do you mean? You think we're running 6-man deep over here?
You think Obi can go in public with less than 10 mans around him?
Yo, you know who I am?
This guy's virtually Drake around Toronto, around here.
I need my guards.
Obi, come on, man.
Oh, boy.
One time this guy went out with Sharif, and Sharif couldn't even deal with it. There was too much there.
Sharif went home early.
He started flexing, and everyone was like, what's going on over here? And then the next thing you know, this man's runs deep right there. But no, anyways, what I was going to say, another play on that is, I think seats at the very top are even cheaper than $20.
Really? So what happens up there?
Nothing. You just grab those. It's the same thing, and if you want to see, you can still do the Corona.
Oh, okay,
you can still walk
but
around. But you have a seat.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
So one of your mates gets a little bit too excited, and maybe drinks
like
a little bit.
Go drop them off at the
You say, "I'll come pick you up, back up." You know, these are yours.
We know exactly where.
Yeah, it's something like that. Anyways, that was fun times over there. All right, so good moves up there. That was real fun. So thanks, Obi, for all of that. But all right, so getting out some more Palantir. We did moon a little bit there. I always want to say when moon, but we come right back into those levels. Just trying to scalp this out. I'm trying to hold for a much bigger move. It doesn't look like it wants to come through. As we've been talking, SMCI has been bleeding. So again, we talked about having less than 10% or so of this trade all the way up. It basically hit our levels. We were waiting for VWAP, but now it's coming back in. I'm going to try it. No, I didn't. I pulled my bid one more time. The out was at 43 change. So, breaking of 43. So that was 42.90. You know what? I don't mind taking this again, SMCI right now. The market's not really doing the worst. It's kind of just hovering, and this is making it drip down. I know you. Oh, you covered your.
I didn't mean to cover it.
I was gonna say, do you want to talk about that?
I was like resizing to be like, all right, and then you know how default it just goes for full position, and I kind of default bought, and it just cleared me out of the full position. I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to get short down here, so close to the day low, but Google maybe poised for a little bit of a push into that day low as of right now. Where is that day low, you might ask? Somebody in the chat was like, Intel is done selling, and I pulled it up right away. I'm like, I'm looking for that reversion. Guess what? I don't think it's there just yet. That's a 10 penny, 20 penny bounce off the lows. But I guess no real volume there either. But yeah, we'll see where this one kind of goes. But Google,
I'll leave
that was a nice little continuation. Again, I was here, participated a little bit there on that push, stopped out a couple of times, willing to give it a couple of shots. I'm like, I know I'm not going to be perfect, but I know where I want to be. But it was to get involved at that 178. And when it does come in, I did kind of take, I would say not a lot more, not the intended size more, but definitely a little bit more of an add when we kind of come back in. Excuse me, but 176.75 is the day low, 177.18's sitting as of right now on Alphabet and Tesla. Oh boy, take a look at that one right here. Tesla's coming in. So I'm seeing some flows here from the right side of my eyes. By flows, I mean the tape is deep red, which means people are hitting the bid or below the bid there on both Google, Tesla, and I guess the Spider as well. here. So yeah, maybe some selling coming in. How much time we got till the close? We got about 40 minutes. So still a lot of time left. Where is the next trade? You might be asking. I'm definitely asking that question. And it seems like some of the selling was best done much, much earlier in the day. Some of the selling best done right off of the open in the case of Tesla. But as that one kind of pulls back in. But something I do want to point out is, yeah, we've had some aggressive strength on Tesla after that capitulation that we had, a little bit of that flush that came in last week with the fallout of the bromance that we saw between Elon and Trump, and a little bit of a waterfall action happening here into that 275. Beautiful capitulation kind of in here. I did like the short here. I got to go back and check what I did. I think I shorted into here off of the news. I think VWAP. I was shorting at VWAP. Yeah, right there. Shorting into VWAP right after the news came out. Kind of pulled it into here and then into day low. Covered into day low. Didn't really get involved until this 300 buildup came in, and I was like, all right, well, if this is happening in my head, the probability of us at least printing 300 is starting to go up. So I started building into this, and then I covered soon after the flush, I think 298s, and missed this puke, absolute puke, with expanding volume that started coming in. But I love this little action down here. Each bar, Sean, each 3-minute bar started doing an average of about 5 million shares on Tesla. I was like, oh boy, I definitely smell a little bit of capitulation coming in. I don't know if it's going to be there. And I did have a little bit of a scalp long off of there. But guess what? That happened to be the low on the whole damn move, because we kind of went all the way from 273.20s on that low, and buyers just stepped in back to back, bringing us all the way back to a high of today, which we saw at 336.44s in the pre-market there. But yeah, a little bit of a strong sell, a little bit of a pullback. I think that's well within range after that aggressive kind of pop that we had after that bit of a capitulatory action that we got last week there on Tesla. Solid push off of that reversion, I would say, on Tesla. But let's see if we can get past today's day high. But market's selling off pretty aggressively as well. So you got to keep that in mind, and be a little patient. Sometimes, like I said earlier, sometimes the trades you're looking for may still be very well valid, but not happening on the time frame that you're trying to eager for it to roll out on. So it's something to keep in mind that I'm definitely learning. But yeah, I don't really see anything else. I'm looking in the chat. So show me or tell me what you guys are trading, and show me what you guys are looking at, so we can take a look at those as well. IONQ FY next week saying dangerous. I like that name, the way you spelled it. IONQ. Let's take a look at that one. We know that one, oh boy, wow, look at that. There may or may not be some supply in this area, Sean. So how many days do we need to see supply at 44s on IONQ for us to get involved? Third time's the charm, but guess what? It's probably a little crowded. Probably not going to give it to you that clean once again. So beautiful range trading's been happening here on IONQ. 44s supply coming in not only on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so it seems like there's a held offer there at that 44 area on IONQ. Let's step up to a higher time frame and take a look at where that action is specifically happening relative to what we've been doing before. Take a look at that. A little bit of a lower high, so a held offer after taking a push all the way up into 48s there. But one could argue we're consolidating pretty tightly, because again, this is also kind of going on here with a little bit of an uptrend. You can see right there, boom. So just from extreme low to another extreme low right there, a little bit of an uptrend going on IONQ, maybe a little bit of a consolidation happening here. It seems like this was an interesting level as well before we took a little bit of a puke as well. So IONQ, good look there. Continue to show or continue to post what stocks you guys are looking at in the chat, and we're more than willing to take a quick review of them.
Yeah, like here's another one right here, XTIA. Nice move downside, upside today, but we had a big move up to $7. And then just basically halt fest I shouldn't say all morning, it doesn't actually halt at all, until we get going right here, 550, 610, 750, then halting again. Almost like the halts are almost identical on the way back in. And right now, looking to do some dances here as well. Shout out to, was it T-Money? Tisha there in the chat talking all about that. Let me just find out this XT. GameStop doing anything? No, I'm still doing nothing on that stock as well. Just waiting for that to pop. I'm not sure if that is going to be here. Company announced it's appointed former Paramount Group CEO to its advisory board. So, you know, Paramount obviously gets the deal done. Maybe these guys, XTI Aerospace, we saw Archer Innovation. RCAT was another one that we are looking at, and a few others in the last couple of days. Joby was another one of those names, 21% short on this one with a float of right there, 6 million shares, which it's probably dummying that level today. 51 million shares turned over today on XTIA. So
Float on that.
6
million?
Yeah, so it's done, you know, eight times.
A little bit of float rotation.
Yeah, a little bit of float rotation.
Turn.
Yeah, exactly there.
There.
A little bit of a floater on that one there, left in the bowl. GameStop and Palantir.
Okay.
I'm still doing. Okay, we have something right here. We are. I'm reloaded. I don't know. We're gonna try SMCI. I mean, we said it was coming back into. It kind of looks like, what was that? You were just looking at IonQ.
IonQ.
I mean, look at SMCI.
Yep.
You know, you talked about some supply there, maybe some demand down here the other way. 43, 43, 43. 43 Savage right there for a downside. Oh, there we go. Okay. So a decent little look here as we just kind of sit down, have a good time here this afternoon. Almost $1 in the money on this Palantir trade, and SMCI back up into 24. Let's put something up a little bit higher. We just got filled. I just put a 24 and a 29 as we're looking to get a little higher now upside here to close out our day. Disney there, talking about Bob Iger, talking about Paramount, talking about Warner Brothers, all that, man. Disney is the name here for me anyways in the sort of the media space. Right? Yeah, this is a magical kingdom of a trade right there. 119 coming into play there for Disney again. And we had talked about that. This is, again, a daily chart. It's top. So there's a nice blow there. We talked about that yesterday, blowing out the top. We talked about that with Brian Shannon. I agree with him. Time to take some out on Disney. We'll be doing that as well, as we're a big, not supporter of Disney because I canceled their streaming service, but definitely a supporter of the stock because we've been buying that for a hot minute down there into the 80s. We've been holding that for a long time. Got in and out a couple times. I think now it's time again. There's SMCI. You just saw me take that 24 fill. Now we fall back in, right? And so, to take a 20-cent hit, we're going to lose this if it breaks O's.
Buyer? Tesla?
No, is Tesla? I'm down. I think Tesla has a good opportunity. So I don't think it's a buy until maybe there, 326.50 or so, possibly there for Tesla. You need to get going. But yeah, a little bit of an afternoon push that we've seen a couple times there on Tesla. We haven't gotten out of Palantir in a minute. It's just doing this. Let's just hold. I mean, we throw back some money if this comes all the way back down, of course. But, looking at my position right now, 10% left on that one. So IBIT kind of having a day today. It's probably back down near some support. Oh, boy. Yeah, this one's going to look nasty, but it's not that nasty at the end of the day. It's just we did take that break. It does fall back in. That's that break and then sort of wait for something. And the bounce was fine, but it just never retook the highs. So, able to get out there on some VWAP breaks. But again, it was like a 25-cent hit, which kind of sucks at the end of the day. But, we'll wait to see what winds up happening. I think that was only 500 shares, and then we averaged it back in to the downside, then wind up taking a hit there as we break through 40. But, got some in, got some out as we break a little bit on that. So, this is what we're doing, man. Oh, oil's up. Oh, gosh. Here's OIH. We actually have the forward contract on CL, so we could take a look at oil itself as well. But there's OIH up 1%. What contract are we looking at? CL / it's probably going to be the July contract, maybe. What's the one moving around the most right now? Yeah, there it is, up 4.5%. So yeah, Oil, light sweet crude, making a move up. Is this light sweet crude CL on our platform? Hold on a second, let me just see. Yeah, light sweet crude. So there it is, man. Nice move to the upside here, 68. Good point out there from you in the chat. Sina, yeah. Again, oil making moves up, and it makes sense. We're hearing all this talk right now from Iran, Iraq, all these kind of stuff going through about, oh, wow. Oh, man. Right there. There goes PLTR. Oh, man. Did it again here for PLTR. There we go, man. Back to back now for Palantir. 137 right now. Now, officially part of that club. It's your dollar club there on Palantir, and this has really been helping me get some money back into the account here this afternoon. So good job there on Palantir so far, and now we'll have to wait to see if we can break even higher. And again, as this world gets into more and more turmoil, I wonder if a name like a Palantir, unfortunately benefits from that kind of talk as, the U.S. government sort of, I don't want to say rearms, but talks more about, again, defense, and we do know that the drones and the foundry that Palantir has built right now is a pretty deep one. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening with Palantir. Good out right there, up at 137. You can't just sit in your trades without. Look, you can have your outs, but when you get hit to some levels, like this is why we got VWAP and then the 200 period. So we're just trying to make some plays that make some sense to us.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good look there. I mean, I kind of punched out of that Google there, but I guess a little lucky because reverted back to the top, and you guys have left some tickers in the chat there for just like I've asked earlier, so we can take a look at some of those there. So Zach in the chat was asking, please work your reversion magic on Nvidia. Guess what? There is no reversion magic. And Nvidia is pretty much telling you who's in charge all day. Very, very directional, kind of trending to the downside here. Again, very clear. I think I just put a trend line on this a little earlier. Yeah, look at that, nice little beautiful trend. So yeah, maybe if we bounce, maybe can we get back up into trend resistance up here? That's the question there on Nvidia. But coming into some interesting levels here as well. Sina in the chat asking for GitLab,
John?
GTLB. No, Sina.
I got it. She was asking about oil. Yeah.
Shirazi. Okay.
You don't watch wrestling or anything?
No, not okay. John Cena. I know. Like.
Oh, okay.
It might be a little hard to see him, but.
I have that
yeah,
chain
of course,
somewhere.
I know that. But I know that from like the phone call meme. I think I sent.
You sent that to me. That was hilarious.
Classic.
I was at. Not Money in the Bank, the ones before WrestleMania there. It was at Rogers Center where John Cena finally, after his 25-year career, turned heel. That means turned bad.
Oh.
Yeah, there. And Travis Scott came out and everything, The Rock. That was great. That was a lot of fun.
I would want to see that.
Kendrick Lamar is here the next 2 days. Not
at your place?
At my place, yeah. Just for dinner. But not sold out at all. You can go grab tickets. 2 shows back to back. Tons of tickets.
Lots of tickets. There's a lot of empty seats there.
No. It's Thursday, Friday.
Oh, okay.
So right now you can get floors. You can get any seats you want. Half price Kendrick Lamar tickets coming there. Joe and I booing Kendrick Lamar apparently. So, but I feel like trading, man. There's a lot of people not like us, Joe. That's the thing. There's a lot of traders not like us. So. There we go. But yeah, down with Kendrick. Kendrick's just pretty. I mean, he got that whole bump from being American, and of course against. Drake.
I just want to comment. Right Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar.
He's got a Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah, but he can't sell like Drake.
Talented guy.
Like Drake. Yeah, very talented guy. Very talented.
There's
guy.
definitely talent.
Wears women's jeans. I mean, it's great. We really. No, I'm just playing around. We like Kendrick Lamar around here. But yeah, genius. Yeah, genius. Kendrick Lamar.
I see the pun there. I see what you did there with the pun.
What? Oh, the genius?
The genius?
Yeah, the genius. Yeah. Maybe you can get a Wrangler commercial going on there.
There you go. Nice.
But yeah, shout out to Kendrick there. It should be a good call. I would actually, I would go. I've already said to Marissa, let's go to we're just so busy. We don't have, we played tonight, and then we're busy Thursday and Friday. But I would go to a Kendrick Lamar concert. So if my wife's in the chat, she knows what we're talking about for sure there. So Kendrick will never sell out stadiums like Drake, but he is talented. He does have a Pulitzer. Looks good on his shelf.
Drake is very much worldwide.
Yeah, Drake is Mr. Worldwide.
I feel
Who
like
is Mr. Worldwide?
Drake's Pitbull.
Pitbull.
Pitbull, yeah. Pitbull is another classic. I love his
All right, all right.
But,
okay.
yeah, no.
All the what?
All the tickets?
Kendrick Lamar tickets? No. There's tons available. There's tons of Kendrick Lamar tickets available. I'll go to Ticketmaster right now and show you. No, not scalper tickets. No, tons of tickets.
From
Ticketmaster tickets, yes. They're all
themselves.
You go to Ticketmaster yourself. I mean, here we go.
Do they,
I'll show
do
it
they
to you.
trade, by the
It's
way?
Ann SZA. Some song like Luther or something coming through right there. So, yeah, I'll show you in a couple seconds all the tickets available for Kendrick Lamar. Okay, but let's go back to trading here because we got to make some money to afford said tickets. All right, so we are now long right here on SMCI as we wait for some 43s. So we do get that, and now we will go ahead and grab some Kendrick Lamar tickets in just a couple seconds, and I'll show you the amount that are available. So, all right, anything else you got going on here?
I'm just looking at. I'm going to continue to look at some of the stocks that you guys pointed out for me. So GitLab was one of them there that was pointed out. So GitLab, yeah, it's breaking this consolidation that we've been holding for the past, I guess, hour and a half or so. So it's about 2 o'clock. This consolidation started. But yeah, nice little breakdown potentially coming in. Market's looking a little bit weak here, or continuing to look a little bit weak relative to if you are long, I guess. But it's strong if you're short to the downside. So strength and weakness is definitely relative.
Zooming in too much.
But GTLB, I think AVGO was another one of them, and yeah, wow, holding its own. Wow, this is if we're trying to get long anything, why haven't we been touching Broadcom here? It's pretty strong to the upside. You can see holding VWAP. Oh boy, buyers are definitely in charge on this stock on the day. Now, don't forget, this thing has been pushing a little bit sideways since that earnings report that we got coming in last week. But before that, we were pretty strong to the upside. Taking a look at an hourly, let's just throw up a 3-hour, get that VWAP out of the way so we can have a little bit more clarity here and zoom out a little bit. So you can see nice strength. Again, a lot of April lows here, very similar on a lot of stocks. But since then, strong bid up today. And on a day like today, where the rest of the market is being sold off and the bids are getting pushed into, AVGO is showing us that buyers are in charge. So maybe something to consider and keep in mind, just as a little bit of a nuanced piece of information going forward. If you had the longs today, great on you for having those. It seems like the VWAP hold on AVGO was absolutely beautiful as well here. Sina again talking about MTDR. What wasn't this one Matador? Did this IPO recently or no? I forget why I recognize this stock. I think it was on a scanner recently, and it definitely did not IPO recently. So okay, we can take a quick look at this one and see what it's been up to. Is it doing any relative volume? Sure, it's doing a little bit of volume here on the day, but that volume coming in, it would seem yesterday, with a little bit of a push. So consolidating above prior day's high going into the end of the day session here on MTDR. Maybe a sign of strength, who knows? Let's see if there's continuation coming into tomorrow on that one. One that is definitely not strong as of right now is Apple. Apple straight to the downside, man. This thing is, like, again, we talked about that false break of prior day high. It's only been the sellers just pounding into Apple since that prior day high failed to follow through there. So interesting look. I really don't see anything else as of right now. We only have about, I would say, I guess 20, 23 minutes left in the trading day before the closing bell, the 4 p.m. closing bell rings. But yeah.
So right now we do have a nice move happening, obviously, here on SMCI. So we just, we put on again like more shares down here. We actually get that 43.02, or what was I sitting at there? And another little bit of an out there as we come to the upside. I was trying to wait to see if there was some extension going to happen, because we do have here. I'll show you what these market on close imbalances look like right now. There it is. Bank it. That's what. I'll have to look to see what's going on with Bank of Nova Scotia. That's a couple days in a row now that we've had it. I mean, I haven't looked at any of the market on close trades for Toronto, but Bank of Nova Scotia, that's what BNS is right there. The Canadian banks have been pretty, okay, maybe that's why. Oh no, all right, so that's fine. I was gonna say like, TSX is at all-time highs right now. And, you know, look what's been happening with these banking stocks. Still not there. There's better banks. I mean, TD Bank, I think, has been even, that might even be at the highs right now. Come on, look at this. Look at this move. Wow. TD Bank they lost some U.S. capabilities there. And boom, right there back to the set. Like, look at these banks, man. Talk about buying some JP Morgan. I should have been buying some of this during tariff time. That's $56 right there. This is when TD Bank was in some problems, down to 50, 51, 52. And then there we go straight up into $70 right now goes TD Bank, and some of these Canadian banks continue to work out. But I'm not really seeing too much. Come on, SMC. I just make a last minute push, man. That would be great to end the day off like that. So XOM, I mean, some of these oil names, we talked about that with Cena there in the chat. And, you know, nice upside move here for XOM. We kind of leave these oil names alone. Maybe we shouldn't, because they all kind of look the same. I mean, if you're going to play off charts and things like that, technicals, then, you know, why not just look everywhere? It doesn't really matter the name. You just want to play names that have catalysts and then use charts to, you know, give that little bump up as volume right here in some of these names have picked up, as we talked about some of the issues potentially there in the Middle East. So looking for more of that. And then, by the way, we made another call there. We talked about some of the China plays that could possibly be other than, you know, Chinese ETFs, or other than, you know, ADRs and things like that, like a BABA or a NEO or JD, PDD, the list goes on and on. But, you know, Starbucks, again, like, you know, big exposure there in China. And there's the break right there. So we've talked about this break of $90 straight to 95, but it's coming into the 200 period. So now, kind of like that Tesla trade up at 360, now you wait to see about this next level. So a bad story or anything hits soon for Starbucks, and yeah, you are going to come back in, but it looks to be all good right now as Howard, what's his name? The guy, not Howard. Howard Schultz was the old Starbucks guy. The guy that came over from Chipotle.
Brian Nickel.
There it is, Brian Nickel with an upside move in the name. This is not this play right here. We did get some Brian Nickel love when he was first announced. Now, right here, I guess. And now you're coming back into those levels, trying to take out 96 right there. Ooh, hearing Reddit making moves down right now as well. RDTT making a move in, not much. We'll wait for a story. We do have news in our ear about this. Oh, right. Ooh, Instacart and Costco coming up with a little bit of a deal there. Costco members to receive $10 monthly credit for same-day delivery orders via Instacart on orders of $150 or more. Probably not a big deal there, but you can make $150 purchase at Costco by accident.
By stepping in.
Just by like, I want to buy some steak. Okay,
boom, boom.
bill 50.
Go inside to get a hot dog. You can walk out with $100 grocery bill. But yeah. Oh.
There's the imbalance thing. All right, let's go to Adair news on Reddit.
News on Reddit. So about 20 minutes ago, The Verge, I guess, posted an article saying that the company's first ever chief product officer named Polly Bott is set to leave the company in the coming months. They don't really give a specific date here, but apparently he's going to leave the company. That is the first, I guess, chief product officer ever, or CPO. Apparently he's also on the board of directors. So that seems to be the story with Reddit. Also, because you mentioned Starbucks here, I want to remind you guys, this infographic here on X at TTV Research, this is about exactly a month old. This is the change as of May 12th, 2025. But since Brian Nickel was announced, as of May 12th, 2025, Starbucks actually down about 6%. Peloton and Boeing faring the best of these companies that had new CEOs announced last year. Back to you.
Thank you, Adair. Yeah, so right there, like there's something wrong with Palantir. It's coming back in. Remember, we do have those imbalances, so that's going to be a problem. I'm still at 80 waiting for that exact dip, so then I can use this as my out, like taking 20 cents worth of risk if we're going to use some big boy shares. That's about the most that I'm willing to do. Right now heading into an imbalanced trade, so I'm going to be worrying less about Palantir because we have our target right into there. It just fell, I don't know why there, but nice move there for Palantir, as if that story was Palantir-based, not Reddit-based. But there's the story for Reddit. There's a nice move down. It's not huge. I guess $2 is pretty decent there, turning, I guess, Reddit red on the day or so. But yeah, move back into 115. This thing got real juiced, man. 230 right back in, still under the 200 period moving average. Again, like the stock, I think that we're always looking for new plays in advertising. And things like that. And, you know, Reddit, there's only going to be so many places. You can go to Instagram. We talked about that. I don't know. I don't have TikTok, but I assume there's advertising all over that as well. But yeah, Reddit is getting popular. And again, it's not just a US play. They need to get a little bit more popular out in Europe. And if they can do that, then I think Reddit does have a real good chance to win, you know, all over. So here we go, man. More SMCI, trying to get some out here on these levels for SMCI. GameStop, man, probably going to get, ooh, where's my stop out on GameStop, by the way? Oh, yeah, breaking 40s. We haven't done that yet today. We're right here, right now. So this kind of looks like not much going on there. Oh, yeah, and then good look here on VOYG, today's IPO. Yeah, they're not like us because Voyage was not like Circle, not like CoreWeave, not like any of the last few IPOs that I've looked at. And I was just sort of sitting here really feeling it there during the midday. And we decided to take it because why not? It actually panned out almost exactly like Circle as far as it opened up at $29 to $31. It's supposed to IPO at 31, and then IPOs at $69.75 off of a 31 post. That's like more than double the anticipated move. So yeah, it's not really up 76% today. You know, if anybody, that's the thing, man. You sit around the dinner table and, you know, I won't be talking about Voyager, but maybe some people will be today. It's not really up 77%. You know, if you bought this at any point today, you're probably down. So right now, be careful with this. We'll have to check it tomorrow when hopefully there's some more interest in it. But for right now, it's a nice downside push. We did hold 50, so that would be something to look at for tomorrow. 50 there for Voyager. Again, don't know much about them. We'll do some more research tonight about that. But there was something about defense and aerospace. So yeah, I thought that they had a chance, but apparently they did not. So yeah, that's what's going on right now, right here as well. So got some emails. Okay, that's not anything to do with me. All right, so that's what I'm looking at. You're out of everything right now. Is Tesla moving around here?
Tesla's holding that 325 as of right now. What I'm watching, I'm staring at this Reddit here. And funny enough, I was just like, I tried to punch into that 115 kind of back through there. Still watching it pretty closely, but again, something I forget is like back at my desk, I have like an insta fill. Like if I hit the key, right, that is intention into the market. I don't have to approve. I don't have to press enter. I don't have to do anything. If I like it, I hit the key, I'm in, I'm out, like it's instant, right? So a little bit of hesitation there. I hit the key, and the setup here, I have to kind of confirm, and I'm like, oh boy, I missed the 15 push, and I'm like, I don't want to hit, like punch into the ask like 50 pennies away from where I really wanted it. That skews my RR pretty significantly, seeing as the current low is sitting at 114.47, and I wanted to hit 115s, and we're trading at 115.50s, a little bit higher now, a whole point higher than some of those lows. So potential reversion coming in here on Reddit as it kind of attempts to bounce off of its current low, off of that catalyst reaction there, and maybe a little bit of digestion of said news. Again, a lot of times, sometimes what you'll see is the initial reaction may be a little bit overkill, and then it starts to settle in, and within there, you may or may not find some levels of reversion. But again, that's sometimes you got to be quick. Sometimes you got to be like, if I want it right there, I have to get it right there. And if I don't, then that trade is more than gone. And where's the next trade is what you got to ask. And yeah, so there's a little bit of a push there on Reddit. Let's see what it does going into the close. There's only about 13 minutes left in the trading day, and 3 minutes left for those imbalances as well. So it's like, all right, do I really want to initiate a position when volatility is stepping into the stock right before imbalances? I don't really have anything on that, so I'm not going to really participate much longer, but I did like the push back through 115s. That was nice. Nice little reserves that were happening at the lows in the 114 halves and some change as well. So yeah, some strong push back to the upside after a flush. Let's see how that comes in to comes into fruition tomorrow. Is there going to be continuation? Is I forget who it was, the CEO, or is somebody whoever's leaving the company? Is the sentiment that we just saw off the initial reaction going to follow through coming into tomorrow? Let's see if that low at that 114 gets taken out. But that initial kind of a push, I do like that for a quick scalp, and that's coming right back in as of right now. So I am also watching Circle here going into the close. We kind of talk about some of these
we have
stocks
1 minute until the imbalances.
Oh, 1 minute until these imbalances.
Yeah, so I'm going to cancel.
Cool. Yeah, let's get ready for some of those here. Circle trekking back to the upside as of right now. That 120.49 is the current day high, so pretty strong on the day on this one here. Let's take a look at what some of these imbalances are looking like coming in to the day.
Yeah, I was going to say we did have, so I'm getting out some more power. We barely have any exposure left on any of these names. So SMCI actually ran into, I wanted to bring this up to everybody before the imbalances, so thanks, Obi, for that. 43.20 right there was some levels on, I don't know if it's a level or not, but there's some size there. It's going to get eaten up. It's not, that's 100,000 shares sitting there on Nasdaq exchange. So I just got a bunch out here right ahead of that. So we'll wait to see. We don't pay a per fee. Our transaction cost per trade. I actually get paid to exit most of the trades. Enter, I'm normally paying, especially if I'm adding liquidity. But if an order, okay, so here we go. I actually had to get rid of this so we can have the right sell side right now is what I'm hearing in my ear. Adair will obviously post that to us as well. But yeah, there we go. Plug, Tal, Intel. Sell side there, Rigetti with a buy coming through, but yeah, not an overly huge number there today. It doesn't look like, yeah, I mean, we got it $1 billion to sell, 380 to sell on the Nasdaq, and the Mag 7 are 170 with a B right there. There goes SMCI with a nice little move higher. Let's take advantage of that now, because again, we're getting some outs. There we go. Take some 23s, maybe some 24s if we are lucky enough to do that. So yeah, so far so good. I closed, I don't know what, it was 57.43 or so for Kendrick on the chat, but I have something to tell you. 6% of our audience Canadian, you know, 59% of our audience American. So Drake is basically crushing the chat outside of Americans, but only Americans count. All right, back over there. What's up, Adara?
Beware here, Archer Aviation getting a bit of a pop, ACHR. We know last week we had Donald Trump signing some executive orders on drones and eVTOLs. Now, for some reason, just now, the White House actually posting an article about this executive order. So this post here circulating on social media, Archer to the upside. So yeah, the White House here just sharing an article summarizing that executive order from last week. Good look here for ACHR. Back to you.
All righty. Yeah, Archer, that was a good one, man. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
I like the way that's kind of building up.
Which one?
Archer, I think.
Yeah, ACHR. So we had this the other day. I think it was long at like $10.20 or something like that. I think for Archer. So yeah, that was 2 days ago. We traded it right into. No, it must have been. Was it 11.20? Oh, right here. Yeah, that's where it was. So we actually had this. This was I think Monday or Tuesday after. It must have been Monday maybe, and we got a lot of hype going on through President Trump, and nice move down into 10.20 to be able to have held. You know, we would have been liking that, but yeah, Archer right now on the daily, as you had mentioned, this is only a 5-minute chart, but we did get as high as 12.50. You know, pretty constructive here, holding this $12 mark. So I think that'll be something to look at there tomorrow as it's trying to go a little bit right now. I did want to go back. There doesn't seem to be too much happening right here into the close. You are going to join Joe and Adara into the close for the Oracle. There's only, unfortunately, I wish there was more. It's always great action. It's still going to be a great show, but always great action when there's multiple stocks reporting. But today, just Oracle. So there's Reddit. Nice bounce off of 14s there. We'll see if that goes. Apparently, Trump's going to be closed press event. So, okay, so we're not going to hear anything from him in a minute. Oracle, wow, report coming. So Again, it doesn't necessarily, at least this one's not priced for perfection. It is nicely up there. What a good bottom down here. I'm going to have to get out some more SMCI because this is going to be a good trade there on the reload there to end the day. SMCI is going to be my #1 P&L name today, and it was just doing what we were showing you guys. But yeah, there's Oracle. Great move off of 120, back up to 180, looking at 190 again. Let's see. Didn't they have that Operation Stargate? You know, that was something that they were going to be talking about.
Yeah, I remember that.
There. Yeah.
That was a huge move, and then nothing really came out of that. Like, that was it.
Yeah, so maybe there's some talk there, as if I have any idea what's going on there. But yeah, so there goes SMCI. My #1 stock, and the funny thing is, man, we get all horned up to trade in at the open, and yeah, this name, we didn't even step into this until 12:20 when we came back, started having our lunch, and I was like, I like 43, and so that was a good level there. Boom, 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 boom. Hit it with some decent share size, and it's going to be good for us there. But yeah, with only 5 minutes left, let's go see what Adair's up to.
Part of the show is brought to you by our friends at Trade the Pool. One for All, the new trading competition from Trade the Pool. It's never been done before. Everyone will be trading together on one shared account with $1 million buying power, starting at June 16th and ending on June 18th. The goal is to beat the QQQs. For example, if the QQQ moves by 3% up or down, we're going to aim for more. The goal, for example, and what's in it for you? Everyone wins. Plus $675,000 in prizes. 20 evaluation accounts up for grabs. One account, one mission, one for all. Scan the QR code and join the team now. Back to you.
There for that. Apple is coming in through day lows, so I'm kind of watching that one there. That 200 mark was pretty interesting. Again, yesterday as well, Apple with a bit of a level hold. I think, was that yesterday? I think it might have been yesterday or the day before. Yeah, there it is. Boom. What a beautiful kind of, you saw that quadruped that came into the market right there, and that hold of that 200 level, 200.03s. I had shorts into here looking for that push through that 200, but oh boy, that was a held bid if I've ever seen one, and we get a little bit of a push off of there. But guess what? That level comes in once again yesterday, and I was like, oh boy, missed that one. But look at that, kind of that high of the range, that 204s. We kind of talked about those 204s. Boom, 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 boom. Kind of a similar story that we're seeing on a lot of these consolidations, where it's like the edges are pretty defined, and when they do break, things can get pretty directional as well. You can see that it attempted the break, maybe false broke, maybe catching some liquidity for the people who are catching the false break long, doesn't quite get to VWAP, and then pulls back in for a nice little bleed out, again, with expanding volume going into the close. 198.47s here on Apple. A little bit of a pullback here off of its more recent highs here. So we can take a quick look at that. We don't need to see any of all of that, but yeah, this is what I'm talking about. So 212s, we've been trying to hold this 200 area is what I'm talking about. We got that nice little push from again, April, but consolidating 190s-ish all the way up into 213s. That's the much wider range here on Apple. But yeah, just watching this, kind of selling into the close here, might give us a little bit of something tomorrow, but it seems like that 200 might be a little bit of a magnet as well. Doesn't always come in on the intraday, but when it does come in, I guess it's a little bit of a nice push here. So yeah, Jared's talking about the position board here. Yeah, I know that Sean's in a lot of trades here, but I don't have anything really as much. I didn't really hold on to that Google short, didn't hold on to my Tesla short. I don't really feel comfortable initiating positions with only about 2 minutes left in the trading day. So that's me right there. But yeah, Sean's definitely traded a lot more than I have today. You can see all the banger trades. Again, I'm looking at that SMCI.
No, I'm just trying to get out of them all. I was just going to say, like,
boom, just reloads.
You shouldn't be
43 reloads.
Yeah, no one should be really taking new positions right now, honestly, unless there's something on the locator or something that like is really getting you some interest. So we just got out right now of SMCI. We're getting lighter and lighter on that one. We got some Palantir fills right here as well in the 30s. And let's just offer right now and get out of everything. There we go. We're out of Palantir. And then even on GameStop, we can offer out now as well. Oops. We can offer out as well on GameStop. And what levels are we at? That's not GameStop. That's why I keep saying oops. There's GameStop right here. We'll just punch out. There we go. We got some 53. Oh, no, we didn't get 43. I thought we got, we're punching out right there. We're running into midpoint. So my order is kind of just sticking there. There we go, we just punch out. Actually, we wind up getting 53s there. So if you use an order so sometimes I post only orders that won't route. So if it runs into like a midpoint, it just kind of sits there and waits for liquidity. So I had to use a lit gateway there to punch out on. So we can always talk more about that. I just wanted to say, like, into the afternoon, like that power hour right there, like this is what the Nasdaq did. Nothing. This is it right here. We're getting a report here on CoreWeave. Oh, you have the same. You have benzene.
Yeah. Neil left it on, so I'm like, all right, I love this. This is good.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the good old. No, I'm joking.
I was gonna say, I hear
the good old
CoreWeave.
days. I'm like, no. But I would listen to Squawk when I was trading at home because again, it didn't really have Bloomberg or anything like that. But it's always good because the thing is, what I realize is like sometimes it would serve as a double-edged sword. I would be like,
same thing. You get too excited.
Too excited for one. But yeah, let's go to Dara. We only have 50 seconds till the close.
Here, so in case you missed it, yesterday we had some reports from Reuters suggesting that there were going to be this cloud deal between OpenAI and Google. Now, Reuters further reporting that apparently unnamed sources are saying that CoreWeave is set to be a beneficiary of this deal between OpenAI and Google. If I have more details on this, I'll let you guys know. Keep an eye on CRWV, and 30 seconds to the bell. Back to you.
Joe, run and get the bell, Joe. Somebody get the bell. We have 20 seconds, my guy.
20 seconds.
Until there. Right, here we go, man. Here we go. Joe making his way out. Yeah, not really hustling or anything.
He's not really in a rush. He's got 10 seconds. 10 seconds is a long time for a trader. 10 seconds is a very long time for a trader. But don't miss the execution, bro. It's almost there. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Nice.
You did a great job, man.
Thank you very much. Boom.
Joe, that was.
Come on, Joe. Beautiful. If I had a sign if I had a bunch of signs, I would have hold up a 10.
Yeah, I'd hold up an 11. That was outstanding. Big Joe running the bell.
Make sure I don't have any orders.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Okay, all right. I thought that was what's for lunch. I was like, oh boy.
You want to know what's for lunch tomorrow? You gotta stay tuned.
What's for dinner is what I'm asking.
For that one, yeah. I think we might even grab some pizza on that Papa John stuff. We haven't had pizza in a minute. And like I said, man, I'm home and then gone almost immediately. But I want to thank Joe for doing the recap show there. Neil had to go home sick. And hopefully he'll be back tomorrow. I'd imagine he will be. And then we'll be doing the recap show with myself tomorrow. But thank you to Joe and to Darren. And a big thank you again, Obi. Of course. Always doing the best out of everybody. So shout out
as well, Sean.
To Obi. No, don't thank me for anything. I'm just here.
I mean, you bring us those solid trades. You bring us the picks. You give people the sticky note. I think it's and nobody, like I said, nobody else is sitting here putting their neck out.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Pushing those live trades.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, that's why we want everyone to keep on coming back. I mean, this is the show. Whether or not you're looking at Obi, myself, Joe, any of us traders, Sharif, Neil, obviously, we just want you guys to enjoy the show, understand what we're talking about, and if you don't ask questions, because, I know that's helped you. You
already know how many questions I asked.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what's helped you.
Stay asking questions.
That was the benefit of having the trading floor. And right now, most of the real traders are at home. Obviously, we're doing construction here, so, that's been something that we've thought about and kicked these guys out of here. Do the best, ask as many questions as possible, read things, study your charts, do all of that as much as you can, because I think that education is so very key. But nothing better than, I think, just getting in there, and that's where demo accounts and things like that. So good job there. We really appreciate everybody today. One more time, if we are ready, I know they're getting all ready. They're not quite ready yet. Right now, they're setting up all of the cameras there. We got to put on the pretty filter for Joe, because for me, they put on a different one. For Joe, they got to get the good one going there. Mr. Worldwide, Joe actually, I'm just killing time until they're ready.
Yeah.
This guy runs on all through, the lake shore, down and around, doing miles. How many miles? What you were trying to do 10 kilometers a day.
10K recently, right?
Month.
Yeah, 40K a month.
A little bit more than that.
Okay.
Sorry, not a month, a week. A week.
40K a week.
Last month I thought he was at 10K a
week.
day.
Oh,
last,
nice.
last month I did 40K a week. Yeah.
Right. So 8. Yeah.
Building
So
that endurance.
there we go, man.
Yeah, good stuff.
Average of 7K a day or so there. So shout out. Bad math. 7 times 7 is not 40, but that's why I'm here and not over there. Thank you, everybody. Good day, Obi. Thank you to everybody watching. Let's throw it over to Adara and Joe with your market recap. Go Oracle.
Take it easy, guys.
Hey guys, thank you so much for being here with us today. This is the market recap show, and we are waiting on Oracle earnings. So just to really quickly go over this here, we are expecting $1.64 per share for the earnings here. Revenue, $15.54 billion. I'm seeing as the expectation. I always like to clarify these estimates are sometimes not the ones the street goes with, so we're gonna have to wait and see. These are the estimates, however, that I am seeing. Implied move, 7.3%. Previous move here, negative 3.1%. So we're expecting more than double here the implied move than the previous move. How are you doing today, Joe?
I'm good, Adara. How was your day?
It's good, thank you. Yeah, lots of news, of course. Yeah, how was your day?
I mean, it was a tough one. It was tough navigating these markets. A lot of chop throughout the session, I find. And it took a little while for the market to find a definitive direction here, guys. So that's the game plan here. I'm looking for this move to exceed that 7.1 implied move here in Oracle. So for all my straddle and strangle options traders, this is going to be really, really important, because if we don't exceed this move, then you're going to be caught offside, holding some contracts where day after day, you're going to slowly lose value of those contracts just to the decay in implied volatility. So if you are trading that style, Adara, you need it to exceed this 7.1% expected.
Well, yeah, let's see if it does. I mean, really, okay, Oklo here. I was just going to get more into Oklo, but Oracle. But apparently, Oklo announcing a $400 million public offering. So in case you missed it, today we had some news that they were very likely here to receive, I guess, some contract. Now it seems like they're because we've just pushed the upside, we see a lot of small cappers do this. Today, OKLO joining the bunch, announcing $400 million public offering of common stock. We've got Oracle earnings any moment now, guys. Nice. So we have to wait and see what happens. Are we looking at any of those nuclear plays today? Like
no, you know what? I seen them come up on my gappers list, on my scanning list, and I'm like, let me keep an eye out. Oh, Oracle, and there we go. We got Oracle.
I'm not seeing the numbers yet.
Okay, we don't have those numbers just yet, but a big time move to the top side here, guys. We're still slightly negative on the session. There we go. Now we're up almost 2.5% here, a little bit north of that. So a big move, a big spike here in Oracle to the top side. Adara's going to get us those numbers here momentarily. But to answer your question about the quantum space, I was not involved into that today. Talk to us.
Yeah, me neither here. Oracle, I'm seeing Q4 adjusted earnings of $1.70. Look like that beat estimates of $1.64. Adjusted net income, $4.9 billion compared to estimates of $4.74 billion. Just an operating income beating estimates here. GAAP earnings of $1.19 per share. I was seeing estimates of $1.64 per share. Sometimes when these earnings are adjusted, that changes. So when I see anything else, I'm going to let you guys know. I'm trying to see. Okay, cloud revenue apparently 6.7 mil. Not sure that compares to estimates. But yeah, it does look like we did beat Q4 revenue estimates. And again, adjusted earnings beat. So let's wait and see on that guidance, because I'm not seeing anything there yet.
I think the guidance is going to be really important here. So we have a double beat there, as you just mentioned, Adara. But the forward look is going to be really important. And I think what we're seeing right now, from what I'm seeing from this move here in Oracle, is that we're not going to exceed that expected move just yet, at least to the top side. So be patient here. We are only down about 1 1/5 here, guys. So be really, really cautious. Okay, so perfect. Adara's got that guidance for us, but that expected move, we're still within that range here, Adara.
So here's the guidance. They're expecting this fiscal 2026 revenue growth to accelerate sharply. Unclear exactly what that means. Apparently, they expect their cloud growth to be more than 40% versus 24% growth last year. They're expecting to almost double their growth for cloud. Their growth for cloud. That's a pretty good look. Q4 cloud services and license support revenue here up by 14% to reach $11.7 billion. Good look there. I also want to talk about GameStop, because they have a catalyst here as well, announcing a proposed private offering of $1.75 billion of convertible senior notes. Apparently, they're also granting options to purchase additional $250 million worth of notes. So, yeah, GameStop here with an offering, Oklo with an offering, Oracle double beat, guidance accelerating sharply here for growth. If I see anything else,
I think the guides are really, really important here, especially with everything that we have going on with these tariff talks. But we see with GameStop here, guys, we are now down 13%, closer to 14% on the session. So even regarding Bitcoin being on the balance sheet now, that's essentially irrelevant. As you can see, GameStop taking a big time nosedive here on that public share offering.
Yeah, I'm trying to wait here on anything else. GoBill's asking why Oracle is down. Yeah, it's on earnings, but in terms of, I see what you mean. Like, there's not specifically a reason as far as I can see here as of right now. Let's wait and find out. From what I'm seeing here on X, apparently we did have about 2% growth in one area, 4% growth in the other. Yeah, so it was, 2% beat here for revenue, and they beat EPS by 4%. So more or less in line here. A bit of a bounce right now, though, for ORCL. KK14M in the chat here attributing this to profit taking. That's not a bad idea at all. I mean, I want to talk about the daily chart for ORCL for a second because it is pretty strong. Excuse my AVWAPs here. I do have some anchored VWAPs, but one of them is going to play a role. So this blue AVWAP, this is from that Project Stargate announcement. So if you look here, what I love about this is we trade below this for quite some time, and then we break above it as of May 12th. Then we bounce off of it on May 23rd. So I like the way that we're interacting with the AVWAP from Project Stargate. Let's see if that continues. Right now, in terms of potential resistance support areas, unfortunately, I'm not really seeing any until like 163, but let's wait and see what happens. That's my take here on ORCL, and I accidentally closed all my windows. So, oh boy. Yeah, GameStop here, I'm seeing with regards to the offering. I'm not seeing any other news here right now, Joe.
Yeah, good look there, Darren. I'm curious, I'm assuming it's probably around 5 o'clock. Do we know what time the call is here?
I can look into that in 2 seconds.
Perfect. I think that's going to be really important here too, guys. If we're looking for this this underlying to exceed that expected move, I think what we're going to hear on this call is going to be relatively important, especially if we're just on the brink of breaking that. That could lead this underlying to exceed 5 p.m. So there we go. We have the conference call at 5 p.m. So in about an hour's time, guys, a little bit less than that. If we're going to break this, we're going to need some positive news coming out of that conference call. But right now, Oracle, a big move to the top side. We flushed off of that print. We moved higher on the print, and then we flushed shortly after that. But now trading back up close to 3%, over 3% here on the day of Adara.
I'm just reading some more here. Some people are saying that Oracle missed on their cloud revenue. I'm not seeing how their cloud revenue compares to estimates, but as mentioned earlier, for Q4, cloud revenue came here. Okay, now I'm seeing it now. So apparently their cloud infrastructure revenue, $3 billion versus $3.07 billion expected. So a mild miss there. They also apparently declared a 50-cent dividend, I'm seeing. So good look here for ORCL. But yeah, that slight cloud revenue miss could potentially be a bad look. And again, that's cloud infrastructure. Seeing some comments coming right now from CEO Safra Cates. She's saying that they expect their total cloud growth rate to increase again from 24% in fiscal 2025 to more than 40% in fiscal 2026. So that cloud growth is really what they're betting on. I mean, speaking of cloud, I guess a different type of cloud, the Adobe Creative Cloud, ADBE earnings tomorrow. So I would say that's like, other than Oracle this week, probably our biggest ticket earnings. We have to wait and see what happens there. But just letting you guys know, that's going to be on watch for tomorrow, RH tomorrow as well. If I see anything else from Oracle, we're always going to let you guys know. If there's any tickers you guys want to look at, tag and I will let you know.
Just let us know, guys. It's been an action-packed day, and I want to talk a little bit about this Oracle dividend. I remember when Meta started to offer a dividend, and it just sent the stock absolutely soaring. So I'm really curious to see what happens here with Oracle, because we are starting to knock on the door of the top end of that expected move here, guys. So again, just stay focused. That conference call is going to be really, really important. Right now, we're now north of 4%. I think higher now. Once my information and data starts to catch up to me, we're close to 5%. So we're getting really close to beating that expected move.
Yeah, I have some news here as well on Cloudflare announcing $1.75 billion convertible note offerings. Now, this is the third offering-related catalyst post-market. We had GME. We had Oklo. Now we have our friends at Cloudflare. Apparently, these are going to be $1.75 billion worth of convertible notes. And again, this is going to end, or their notes are due 2030, and then additional $250 million over allotment, apparently, as well. Every time I think of Cloudflare, I still think of that girl in that video recording herself being fired. So that's, I don't know if you saw it. Oh my gosh, look it up. It was amazing.
What happened?
She just recorded herself getting fired by Cloudflare for some reason, over a Zoom call. Anyways, I want to mention here as well, apparently U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent with another round of testimony, as far as I can tell, making some comments on stablecoin legislation, saying that stablecoin legislation backed by U.S. Treasuries will expand U.S. dollar usage. So keep an eye on the U.S. dollar. It's interesting now we have a stablecoin play we can publicly trade with CRCL.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. There we go. We got this the stablecoin play with Circle there, guys. We were trading that IPO as well. That was a good time. I enjoyed trading that one. But with Oracle, guys, we are still continuing to climb, pulling back a little bit here. 4 1/3 we're up. I like this name. I like this for a continuation play. If you are trading earnings, guys, be sure to just be extremely cautious. You don't want to be trading those opening prints. You want to wait for the first 5 minutes and then base trades off of that. That volatility can be extreme, and it's honestly essentially almost gambling if you're looking to play a break either way. That's why we focus on high levels of open interest and wait for certain things to display themselves when we are trading. So don't chase anything just yet, guys. There's still going to be some good moves. I like that the forward guidance is strong, as Adara told us here. So that can definitely send the stock continuing to trade higher.
Yeah, I was just going to look at CoreWeave here because we know this one had a bit of a catalyst at the end of the day. Reuters reporting that this one is set to benefit from the reported deal between Google and OpenAI on cloud. Now, with that in mind, APLD could be one to look at. We know Applied Digital entered in this massive contract with CoreWeave, but that's not really affecting Applied Digital at all. I'm going to go over these Oracle numbers one more time because we can't see the future, but we can certainly see what Oracle's doing here and it's pushing to the upside. So again, adjusted earnings per share, that was a beat, $1.70 versus $1.64 expected. Revenue up 11% year over year to reach $15.9 billion versus $15.59 billion expected. So that was also a beat. They had adjusted operating income and adjusted net income beating estimates. And again, their guidance was pretty general. They just think cloud sales are going to grow by more than 40% year over year. And in terms of their segment revenue, cloud services revenue up, cloud revenue up, cloud infrastructure revenue up, though as mentioned, cloud infrastructure revenue actually missing estimates a little bit. Cloud, like all of this sector revenue is up on a year-over-year basis. So solid look there for Oracle.
Yeah, I agree with you, Adara. And we've seen it with the likes of Microsoft as well, too. If we want to go over the big cloud names, we know that Google missed out and AWS missed out as well. But with Microsoft beating their cloud growth expectations, then we see that here displayed in Oracle. So that's a positive sign. And I would look for the continuation and strength in tomorrow's session as well, too, Adara.
Yeah, I think that's certainly something to be aware of. What stocks do you think you're going to be looking at tomorrow here?
Well, most definitely Oracle, because this guidance is really interesting, and I like how you mentioned that they have higher expectations for the cloud growth. And when I've seen that in the likes of Microsoft, you've seen the continuation. It was one of the weaker performing stocks year to date, and then as soon as that Q1 revenue came out and the cloud growth, it just sent the stock absolutely soaring and into a new all-time high. Am I referring that Oracle is going to get to those levels? No, but I'm going to look for that continuation and strength because the street does like strong cloud growth.
Yes, indeed it does. And yeah, I mean, I think one thing, too, I want to mention, not really in the cloud space, but a story that we brought up a little bit earlier and they didn't really talk about again. Lockheed Martin, this is a name that I watched today. I'm certainly going to be watching tomorrow as well. So Lockheed Martin here basically had a story. Apparently, it looks like there's going to be a Pentagon, according to Bloomberg, the Pentagon slashing its request for Air Force F-35s in half. So with less demand, LMT could be in watch. I mean, I think these defense plays are really interesting lately. We've heard it talked about a lot, both on the main show and on the midday show, the way that defense is increasingly switching from this, the planes, the fighter jets, the Northrop Grummons, the LMTs, the Boeings, the RTX. Now we're seeing more of the Palantir, the software side, right? We're seeing more of those type of plays. So I think that's a really interesting look. And with that in mind, I saw some people in the chat mentioning as well, Anduril could potentially be an IPO. We know CEO Palmer Luckey, formerly of Oculus, he said that he's very interested in taking Anduril public. We know Anduril has some deals with Palantir as well. So it's actually been viewed sometimes as a competitor for Palantir. So yeah, I mean, pretty interesting look here. I want to. We have more offerings here. This is our fourth offering of the night.
This must be a record.
Macy's saying that they are filing for a mixed shelf offering, size not disclosed. Also, more comments from Scott Bessent, who's talked quite a lot today. He was saying that I guess the U.S. is looking to insert, quote, fairness into the China trade relationship, and that countries negotiating in good faith could see their trade deadlines rolled forward. So I guess maybe making these deadlines a little bit farther across. Apparently, the China trade fairness, though, could come through reduced exports to the U.S. or a rebalancing between the economies. You're going to have to wait and see what happens there. But yeah, I think this trade stuff is pretty interesting. Did you expect that we'd have a sell-off like this for trade today?
You know what? I wasn't expecting this sell-off today, Adair. I was slightly bullish on the session, especially with that cooler than expected CPI print, which was very interesting this morning. I mean, it is what it is. We can't complain too much. The market has been on an absolute monster run, 34% off of the Liberation Day lows in some of these big tech names, and the Nasdaq being one of the top performers in the past 3 months. So I was a little blindsided by that. But Adara, we got Oracle now exceeding that expected move. So what do we do here when we've now exceeded that expected move here, guys? And how do we lock in our options contract gains now that we know that we can't open or close them in the post market? Well, what you have to do, if you want to lock in these games, if you are trading that straddle, or if you just have long calls, what you have to do is you have to sell shares now. And what that's going to do is that's going to pin your options contract with those shares. So let me elaborate on this for a brief second. So I have an options contract. It's now exceeded the expected move. I want to lock in that amount of money. We sell those shares. So what happens if the underlying starts to depreciate in price? Well, the short shares will start to gain value, but your long contract will also start to lose value. So you're essentially locking in that price, and that's how you trade options in the post market and on earnings.
Yes, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, and learning new things every day. And I think what's interesting too with Oracle being so strong today, it's hard to find earnings names recently that were strong and then stayed strong throughout the day.
Continued, right?
Yeah, the one exception you can think of recently, Zscaler was really strong on earnings. It stayed strong all day. I believe, I know Alta Beauty gave it up. I remember that as well. I mean, I think there was one other one that I think was decent at one point. Well, MongoDB, but it also gave it up, right? So let's see if Oracle can hold this gap, because not a lot of earnings names are able to. Sigma in the chat asking what happened to CoreWeave. I will tell you, right before the close, Reuters comes out and reports that apparently CoreWeave could actually be a secret or beneficiary here, not secret, but an under-considered beneficiary of this reported cloud deal between OpenAI and Google. So yesterday, Reuters was reporting that apparently, OpenAI, who's a competitor of Google in the AI space, they approached Google for a cloud compute deal. CoreWeave apparently liking this story, according to Reuters. The company will anyway. It's a good look there for CRWV. That is for sure. Adara Buy the Book LePage is a new name in this chat. I don't
never seen that one?
I've never seen that one. I don't know why I'm Buy the Book, but I mean, shout out to you.
Buy the book.
Hope everyone is having just a great day today, guys. If there's any other tickers you want us to look at, definitely let us know. But I just can't believe how many offerings we got today, Joe. We had four. We had four.
That must be a record for the aftermarket show.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of offerings aftermarket, but I think a lot of them, because they're small caps, we're not necessarily going to cover them as much.
They don't get as recognized.
Right? Yeah, and I think the fact that it was like all pretty heavy hitters, two retail favorites here, Oklo, GME, one larger name, we had Cloudflare, and then we also had Macy's. Which is a name that Sharif randomly brought up on this desk yesterday. So shout out to Macy's. Get it, Macy's.
Yeah, get it, Macy's. I don't know. I've never shopped in a Macy's. Have you ever shopped in a Macy's? No, me neither. So I don't know what it's like. I know it's more American, and maybe we'll compare it to a Winners or something along those lines. But what do I know? I know nothing about shopping. But what I do want to talk about, guys, even though the market did seem a little bit hectic this morning, we're only down about 0.25%. So we can't complain too much about that, can we, Adara?
No, yeah, I mean, we really can't. That move down, though, was pretty violent. And it's always interesting when we get these drops without any news. That was certainly what happened today at 2. And guys, like, I always see the chat. People are like, what's the news? What's the news? And sometimes there isn't any, right? We look, you can't force any news to happen, right? People are talking about Tesla. Tesla actually, speaking of a name that puked today, because Tesla, this was a beautiful downtrend all day. Today getting a little bit of a post-market move, and I want to say as well with TSLA, that's been interesting. I've noticed the last 3 days, and I'm going to like pull out, I'll do like a 30-minute to show you guys. This thing will drop off the open, like on Monday. And yes, you can see here on, if we go, I think if we go as far back here as Monday. So Monday, drop a little bit off the open, pop. Tuesday, drop off the open and pop. Today, drop off the open, we don't really get the pop. So bit of a reversion here of the trend, if you will. And look where we reject both times, at 336.20. So that's the level that we haven't really been at here, or we stayed above since June 4th. So let's see if this 336.20 is something we can break above, because clearly we struggled with it. We didn't even get there in the open session, only during the pre-market. Yeah,
that's a really good look there, Dara. I like how you point out that specific number as well, too, that 330 level, 336 level. Well, it's funny because it coincides with a high level of open interest on the options chain.
That's cool.
And that's when I refer to a lot of people in the chat all the time. It's like, okay, when we look at the options chain and we see high concentrations of open interest, these can be classified as call and put walls and supply zones. And if we don't see some large volatility or an increase in momentum, it's very hard to breach those. And that was displayed most definitely here today in Tesla.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, speaking of a different type of car, I'm also seeing, and I mentioned this here at the end of the day, Trump signing some executive orders on eVTOLs. We already kind of knew that, but now I guess, I don't know if these are necessarily new ones. It's coming out here, though. Flying Cars program in the U.S. to I guess, increase U.S.-made drone production. So Trump here with some drone and flying car-related executive orders. Watch Joby, watch Archer, watch, I guess, anything kind of in that space. I don't know, RCAT's more of a defense play.
What did you trade today?
I
heard you had a good one on
I had
today.
Netflix. I had some Netflix short there a little bit.
Short?
Yeah, I think one thing that I had throughout the day that I think, you know, is frustrating and it happens, is just being in the right direction, getting wicked out. Yeah. And, you know, it's fine. I actually was initially in the long on Netflix, got wicked out. Then when we broke the 30-minute prior bar low on
that's a tongue
Flakes.
twister there.
Yeah, right. It's a tongue twister. Then I took the short at that point.
Oh,
yeah, it was pretty. I was happy with it. Yeah. I mean, I think the issue is, you know, it's always hard when you're trying to move your stops and things kind of get wicky. I need to create new rules for that. Shout out to Dua Lipa, new rules, and shout out to Sharif, who's a noted Dua Lipa fan. But yeah, I think that Netflix was pretty fun. LMT was what I was watching today. Tesla, though, was my best stock by far.
Your number one. Yeah,
I had the short.
I had one name on my list, and that was Tesla.
Nice.
And it didn't happen to work out as good as I would like for me, but that's okay. We can't have everyday green at Dara.
No.
Unfortunately, that's just not the world that we live in here, guys. But again, just referring back to Netflix, it's looking pretty strong today. Actually, we're up about 1 1/5 here, guys. So a good move, nice strong move here in NFLX. And Sharif and I were talking about them landing a big-time boxing match here. Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. Jamal Crawford is a basketball player. So this is really, really big for them. I think this is going to be on the level of what Jake Paul and Mike Tyson were. And I know you're giving me those eyes, but just think about it from a fundamental standpoint. It's going to draw a lot of eyes and more subscriptions towards Netflix.
That's a good point. I think I would actually maybe argue the counter of that. And I think, I think for the same reasons that you and Sharif said that I think it might be more successful, I actually would argue it might be less.
Okay.
And here's why. So I think you're going to get those boxing fans, right, who care about this match. But I think what the Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight did bring was a lot of confusion, a lot of controversy, a lot of notoriety. Both of these people are very well known and not necessarily for boxing.
Yes.
So there was that, you know, mainstream appeal as well. I don't know if these fights are necessarily going to have that. So that could be, you know, a hindrance or a positive for Netflix. But yeah, I mean, to talk about the chart a bit. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no. Just to add to your point there, these two guys that they have now, they don't have the star power that Mike Tyson and Jake Paul bring. But in the boxing world, it's still relatively big. And I think it's good for Netflix because we know that they've added WWE to the live events there. And now they're adding more boxing events. So they're getting into that live sports streaming, which I think draws a lot more eyes towards and subscriptions in Netflix.
Yeah.
And we know that they doubled year over year their subscriptions, and they're going to increase the premiums as well, too.
Yeah, that's a great look. I want to talk quickly about AMD there. Sorry for cutting you off. The information reporting that Saudi Arabia is trying to tap Cisco and AMD for a cloud project. So AMD, great look. That is the news. Again, the information reporting that Saudi is tapping Cisco and AMD for a cloud project. Let's see how Cisco does. This is not known for being an intraday trader. Cisco really strong here. I would actually argue this move on Cisco is stronger than the move on AMD, truthfully. And then AMD is trying to push back up here. But yeah, again, Saudi Arabia apparently looking into Cisco and AMD for a cloud project. I mean, to talk about Netflix here too, though, just to get back into that briefly, now that we have shared the news, is one thing on the chart that I find interesting here with Netflix is I was talking about that pattern on Tesla, where it would have these pushes down and then charge right afterwards. So Netflix, this double top here at 1262, pretty clear. After we make that double top, we start this pattern of selling off the open. We do it on Friday. We do it on Monday. We do it on Tuesday. But today, much like Tesla, we actually revert the pattern that we've been doing for the past few days. And instead, today, we actually push off the open. But look where we end up projecting. This is going to be basically yesterday's high of day here, that 1228, that 1230 area. So I want to see what we do there tomorrow to bring a little bit of technical into it very quickly. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I mean, the only other news I'm seeing here is from the information. Lots of talk here about the dollar and its reserve status coming from Scott Bessent, who is the U.S. Treasury Secretary. Yeah, I mean, keep an eye on the U.S. dollar, keep an eye on these stable coins as well. And CRCL, let's pull up CRCL because that is actually a brand new stable coin play that we can now trade. So Circle, this is the 30-minute on Circle, and I have to say, not a bad look at all. With this beautiful uptrend off the IPO, we break it pretty violently on Monday morning, trade lower all day yesterday, but we have not broken 100. We have not broken 100. I think that's a great look. We're back above the AVWAP from earnings, and I think if we can take off this take out, this 120 level again, I think that more upside potentially for CRCL.
Nice, good look there, Darryl. I want to bring it back to AMD because we're really starting to move. We were negative on the session, and now we're only down about a little bit less than 4/10 here, guys. So this is a big-time move. And then I was looking for some sympathy plays as well, and you've seen that Nvidia is also off of the low. So that's a really good look here in the chip space. So we had a low of around 142, and then we get another pop. So only down about a third here on Nvidia, and then a little bit less there on AMD as well, too, guys. So a really nice pop there on that AMD news. And I believe you said it was with Cisco, correct?
Yes.
They're getting the deal with Cisco. So yeah, a really good look there, guys. Let's see if this strength continues in tomorrow. I think it's going to be a very interesting day. We can pull up Oracle one more time to see if we've now held that expected move. So there you go. That's why you want to focus. So if you're trading those straddles for all my options traders out there and those who are looking to get involved in that, if you're trading that straddle and you hit that expected move, start to lock in those gains. I explained briefly earlier on how to do so. You have to sell shares against those contracts. So now you're south of that expected move. Let's see if that can continue. I mean, we're still about a half an hour away from that conference call. I'm going to be looking forward to hearing some things from that for sure.
Yeah, we only have about a couple minutes left here. So to go over that Oracle double beat, we had offerings. People are like, what's happening with GameStop? GameStop here announcing an offering. We had an offering from Oklo. We had an offering from Macy's, an offering from Cloudflare. I'm going to get the terms of this GameStop offering up for you guys really quickly so I can say how much it was again, because we've had quite a few. Macy's size was not disclosed on that offering. GameStop, proposed offering of $1.75 billion of convertible senior notes. So that was the deal there with G to the M to the E. I mean, also really quickly here, we had some chip news on AMD, of course, that Saudi Arabia reportedly looking to tap Cisco and AMD for a project. But also, I want to pull up Nvidia and some of these other chip names because there's one more catalyst I want to leave you guys with. We have comments from Scott Bessent, U.S. Treasury Secretary, saying that there is no quid pro quo in terms of chips for rare earths within the U.S.-China trade agreement. So why that's significant is we know the U.S. really wants this rare earth deal. We know that China really wants chips, but apparently no quid pro quo. So that is pretty interesting. We're going to have to wait and see if that shakes up, if it does at all, but I think it's worth noting regardless.
Who do you think needs who more? Do you think China needs the chips more, considering they have Huawei now, or do you think that America needs the rare earth mineral?
That's a good question. I'm not going to say need. I'm going to say who is going to be more upset if they don't get it. In that case, absolutely the U.S. The U.S. is very clear they want rare earths. China can adapt. We know they had DeepSeek. They're doing the best that they can. But I think the thing is, too, that makes it interesting is China doesn't necessarily, I mean, they're not really excited to give up the rare earths. With the U.S., with the chips, we have a lot of these companies. We know Jensen Huang and Nvidia, they really want to get these chips into the U.S. So with that in mind, I guess it's time to wrap up. Let's do a roll call. Let's get started over here. You want to get it started, Joe, with this roll call?
All right, I'll take it over for the start of it, guys. It is roll call. Thank you for joining Adara and I on the aftermarket recap here. Don't leave us. Sorry, Mike. We have to go. Who do we got in here? We got Ash. Come on. We got to get those names. Mike DeRider, our main guy over there, Jonathan Davies. Everyone have a great day. Sharif Sleps, Bicep, Dumbo Things Films, Pitchbull. We got Adara in the chat. Jake Roberts, Snakes, Tyler Smith, Butch Concepcion, Mike Zabe. Who else do we got here? Joseph Brown, Chris EDW, Rob Palmer, Alvin, Calicake, Montez Travel. What's going on, everyone? Said Dienchard. I'm not going to try to butcher that one. Aziz Ali. What's going on, Sebastian? Broke Boy Entertainment. Adara, take it over for the end of the roll call.
Let's do a couple more. Grandmother's Garden, Dallas, Drop Trades, Bob the Dog, Nathan Pena, Halmiz, Mean Gene, 1980, Indecisive Candle, Wall Street Only, DJ, 2 a.m., Akash, Tallycat. We'll end here with Grov, Sebastian Ontiveros, Michael DCA, Mike Peter Ryder, Wall Street Only. Let's end with that. Thank you guys so much for being here with us every single day. But guess what?
What?
We're going to be back tomorrow.
Guess what?
Oracle, earnings day, what?
Potato.
Potato?
French fries.
French fries.
Okay. Oh, I got you on that one.
So
I know that's
enjoy your French fries or whatever you guys eat tomorrow, tonight, because we'll see you tomorrow morning.
Thank you, guys.